Testing, testing. Wow. I was saying so many amazing things just about you, Fedorevsky, Mr. Fed. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry, I had to restart everything, and as part of that, I guess I messed everything up. So, oh, speaking of which, I think the music player has also stopped working. So let me hit some random buttons, and then is it working now? Let's see. What is my life? All right, I'm gonna shuffle the music. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear music now. But thank you very much. Thank you, Fed. Thank you for the help, and thank you for letting me know. You are my technical support as well as film teacher. Why don't we call it film editing teacher? Thank you, Fed. I am back from Nigeria. I just got back a few days ago. But I did have to take the past couple days off of streaming just because I need to catch up. Even though the trip was one of the shortest I've ever done in terms of turnaround. I flew in, I think around 6 p.m. or something on whatever day. Spent the rest of the day, the evening, just prepping, and we went to the events venue. I had to double check, make sure all the tech stuff worked. Then the next morning at like 7:30 in the morning or something, I was heading off to the venue. I had to do some quick demo photos, videos to capture, and then I had my presentation during that day. Everything went well. I'll do a quick catch up on everything as well. And then basically by 2 p.m. that day, we were heading back to the airport, and I flew out in the afternoon. And the trip was so quick that I was on the same turnaround flight as the flight attendants, the cabin crew. Because one of the cabin crew, he like did a double take when he saw me, and he's like, "Didn't I just see you yesterday on the same flight, whatever?" I was like, "Yep, that was me." So yeah, it was the quickest trip I've done, but everything went well. Man, I have so many positive things to say about Nigeria, as well as some negative. Negative in the most laughable of ways, but the positive is like, man, I've never been to any country that was more welcoming in terms of the people. It's almost like I feel like it's a cultural thing, because this was true last year when I went. They were doing an event, like a soft launch of the Nikon Z6 III, and Nikon had asked if I'd be willing to go out there and do a presentation, as well as since I'd been shooting with the Z6 III a little bit since the launch, they thought maybe I could be like the international speaker for the event. Oh, also, Fed, by the way, let me know if the audio level is too loud or too soft. I'm trying to survive without putting my headphones on, just because when I let my hair down, it overheats my head. I start overheating, so I prefer not to put the headphones on. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so when I went last time, man, the energy level of the attendees is so much better than any other country. Not that I've done presentations all over the world or anything, but just like in general, anywhere I've been, anytime I've attended some conference or event, and just the engagement level of people in the crowd. Fed says sounds like usual. Awesome. I think that's a good thing, hopefully. The engagement level is so much more warm and receptive. Like they're responding. It's like one of those I don't know what you call it, but like the presenter, especially depending on the presenter, right? But the presenter will say something and then the crowd responds. It's almost like a church session. Is that what I'm thinking of? You know, like the things you see of like the black churches where the preacher says something and everyone responds. It kind of feels like that at times, where it was just like a nice back and forth. And then when it was my turn to present, this I'm talking about last year, by the way, when it was my turn to present, same thing. Everyone was so responsive. They gave me my own nickname, like a Nigerian word. And then, yeah, it was just like they treated me like a celebrity at the time and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, now fast forward to this trip. Exact same treatment. I think there was probably around 150 or so attendees. And the whole time I did about a 45-minute presentation. I kind of did a walkthrough of the ZR. I walked through myself. They showed my film on screen, and just the way they treated me was something else. Like no better reception anywhere I've been to. And then after my presentation, is just kind of like a casual, it's like a, they break things down. There's a demo session and people are testing out the ZR. And the number of people that came up to me asking for selfies and like photo, they had professional photographers there, as you can imagine. It's Nikon, but the number of people that came up to take my photo and stuff was insane. I was like, yo, is it, the amount of celebrity status I was receiving was way disproportional to who I am. It's like, oh my god, is this what actual celebrities feel like? I'm talking real celebrities, like A star, whatever, A list actors and stuff. Because it's like, yo, I'm just the dude that came here to speak as an international person, showing the quality of the ZR. That's it. But they treated me super well, is my main point. So, wonderful experience. I would love to go back. Again, it was the shortest of trips though, so I didn't have time to like spend an extra day there, do any kind of like photo walks, meet the people. And the other interesting thing about Nigeria is the photography community there is so much more close knit than anywhere else I think in the region. They they were they're so hungry for brands to show up with like stuff that they can use. So there, so many people in Nigeria are very loyal to Nikon, for example. I think because Nikon was one of the first to put themselves out in the market, and then, yeah, it's just a number of like really creative content creators that are there that are just waiting for a camera like the ZR. Is amazing. I'm, as a Nikon shooter, as someone that's quite affiliated with Nikon, it's really cool to see so many, like young talents actually like super excited to work with a brand like Nikon. Because I think sometimes you get this, at least for what I see on social media, sometimes I feel like Nikon ends up being the butt of a joke. They compare it to a potato or something, like on some of the Instagram reels and stuff, and it's always funny. But like, I like being the underdog, but it's cool to see that there's been this kind of shift, and it's like market to market. But I think with the Gen Z and the Gen whatever alphas, I think Nikon is becoming more of an approachable brand and one that you want to work with. So yeah, let's see if Nikon continues in this direction, especially pricing the camera at what it was, at what it's at. It also kind of, it was like, you can also see it in the creators in Nigeria, where it's like, oh, you're actually trying to support our market. Because yeah, like the Z9, these things are amazing, but the price level, the Z8s, it's so expensive, so it becomes a little bit out of reach for some of the creators in a market like Nigeria. Same would go for like the Sony FX3 or whatever else. So for them to provide a camera that has such high levels of cinema features at a low price, it kind of is like one of those put your money where your mouth is, of like, we're not trying to gatekeep, we're trying to put some of the best tech in your hands in an affordable way. And so yeah, it resonated. Sorry, I'm going on like a long tangent here about but you know what, look, I'm feeling good about Nikon right now. I'm still on a high from that trip, the number of people there that are just very, very excited to start creating with the ZR. So anyways, that's my little catch up on Nigeria. I think maybe I'll be going back there soon. One of the contacts that I met, he mentioned that he has contacts with the World Wildlife Fund, or I forget what it's called, but it's like the WWF. It sounds weird to say that, but whatever the Wildlife Fund is, as well as there's like a National Geographic photographer that he was saying I should collaborate with in Nigeria. So hopefully for 2026, I'll look at doing some kind of a joint trip, or going back there and maybe doing another film project. Low Base is here. Low Base says, how is you, or asks, yo, I am doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for always consistently being here. Low Base and Fed and anyone else, just as a quick FYI, I have made a number of changes, including we've got some new emotes and badges and stuff like that. So I reached out to an artist on Fiverr. His name is, I think he goes by @Meben, Mheben on Fiverr. I'll just type it in the chat. I don't know. I don't know what his socials are. But anyways, if you search for like artists on Fiverr, he's one of the ones that pops up when I was looking for like animated emotes and stuff like that. Now, I think Low Base, you had mentioned there are a number of artists in your in like the TWCC community, which you know, in hindsight, yeah, I wish I had thought of that, but it's all good. I'm supporting whatever artists I can, and especially when I need to outsource. So, anyways, he had a certain style of utilizing like his animation style that I thought would work with my two cats. So we brainstormed, and then yeah, so we've got some new alerts, some new emotes, and new badges as well. So actually, this is a good time to check. This is on YouTube as well. So let me quickly see. Can I see it on my end? Okay, so some things I'm not seeing, because like I feel like even for Fed's name, I was hoping you could see a little badge show up next to his name. Because I think Fed, you've been I thought I had some base level ones. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so even with low base, I guess because right now you have the VIP badge, and you have a hype train conductor badge. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. But you can see, even on my name, here, let me type something. Testing to see the badges that show up. Yeah, so on my name, it's got a camera badge for three month subscribers. Yeah, okay. I'm not seeing it under your name, Low Base, but I'm not sure why. Damn it. Maybe it's because you have some other things already loaded in. I'll need to do some quick double checking. Yo, thank you, thank you very much. Wait, did it do the thing? Oh, it didn't do the thing. Hold on, that's the old. Oh my god, give me a second. Sorry. Well, thank you very much for resubbing, my man. And I apologize because you were supposed to have a really cool little badge thing pop up. Why did it not work? Let's see here. This is gonna be one of those IT tech support streams as usual. I swear I got it to work. I even did like the tests on Streamlab. Let's see, Streamlabs. But thank you very much, Low Base. You are the best supporter I have in terms of how much you've donated. Like, I'm pretty sure you've donated the most, so I very much appreciate it. Oh, you said something real quick. Hold on, sorry. You said I'm sitting at work doing my Christmas shopping. Oh man, I have to do some shopping as well. Shoot, it's that time of the season. My mom's visiting for the first time in the 7+ years that I've been in Dubai. This will be her first time visiting me all the way out in Dubai. So she'll be here in about 5-6 days from now. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to be streaming once she's here, just because it might be a bit too much for me to stream and be loud and stuff while, you know, my apartment's not big. So, and then I also need to be the tour guide for a while. Okay, give me a second. I want to see how to fix this freaking thing, because I thought I made it show up. Copy. So basically, Low Base, just now, you did a resub. So under Twitch subscriptions, it should have worked. Resub, messaging. Why did it not work? Well, okay, let me do a test one. Hopefully it should show up, and so you can see what it was supposed to pop up. And then I still need to change the sound effects on all these alerts, but let's see if it works. There you go. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to see show up on the screen. My two little kitties, and then it should have said low base, resubbing. But instead, we got that old thing. And I don't know why that showed up, because it's not on my side. Why is life so difficult? Lobe says, my favorite time... Hold on, sorry. Sorry, guys. I missed a few chats while I was trying to tech support myself here. Fed says... I have Hyper Chat plugin, so I don't see the badges. It is a plugin that enables live chat automatically. On other things, I always... on every chat. Okay, interesting. See, I see every chat. Wow, okay. Hyper Chat. Lobe says, yes, my favorite time of the year when I'm getting lower paychecks because I'm working fewer hours. Yet I'm expected to spend money on gifts for people I don't like and only see a couple times a year. Damn, that jaded personality is befitting Christmas. Not really. Man, you're about to turn into the Grinch. Once that's running, we will completely have eliminated our reliance on third-party bots. Yeah. Yami, what's up? Can't hear you, but I'm gonna lurk for now. Have a good stream. Thank you very much. Hopefully you're saying you can't hear me, not because I did something wrong. Man, what is going on? Am I, like, destroying everything? Have I... Okay, I think I should be fine. But thank you very much, Yami, for being here. Thank you for your lurk. I appreciate it. We're just doing a bit of technical difficulty stuff. I got these new badges and alerts and emotes. Actually, okay, at the very least, let me test out the emotes now for you guys. Should I hop over to... Let's just hop over to the cat camera for now. Let's get enough of my face. Fed says it's one of those Chrome plugins like AdBlock. This one provides options for live stream chatting. Yo, okay, I need to Google this. Let me put this in my to-do list. Or I'll open up a Hyper Chat. Okay, in the meantime, let me see if I can show you guys the new emotes. And then I need to fix the alerts. Or I don't know why the alert didn't work when Lowbase did his thing. When he resubbed to my beautiful channel. Okay, let's test out the emotes though. So Fed, I think on the YouTube side you should also have access to it. I think YouTube is a bit more liberal when it comes to getting access to the emotes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it's called Hyper Chat. Okay, I thought maybe it was a typo, but then I was like, you know, that could be an interesting play on, I don't know. I thought maybe a company was trying to be clever with it. Hyper Chat. Okay, I'll check that in a second. All right, so here are the new emotes, starting with Yobel P Heart. So for instance, if I type this in the chat, look at this beautiful Nala hugging a heart. Oh my god. Is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? My goodness. Beautiful, beautiful. And then the next one, let's see here. This one is Yobel P Headbanger. It's kind of a long name for the emote, but whatever. We get Kimbap over here. Just, oh, I should have. Oh, he's here. Oh wait, okay. Let's do it again. Yeah, let's do it with Kimbap. Boom. Wow, look at that. Look at these little Kimbaps all over with his little cute little earbuds and everything. Amazing. Okay, there's another emote. What is it? Now this one is just like, I say just, but it's Kimbap. So there's a hello emote. I want to create more emotes, right? I really like this artist, Mebin. He really understands what I'm looking for, I think. But I figure it's kind of a waste to try to create a lot more emotes right now, because I think I'm limited in terms of how many people can access. So unless I use one of those third-party plugins that you guys keep mentioning. I keep forgetting the name. I don't know if it's worth doing it yet or not. But anyways, this is the third emote. It's Kimbap waving hello. The fourth one is back to Nala. And it's my coffee emote. So now you see Nala just sipping away on some hot coffee. Now, to be more realistic, I am an iced coffee guy. So iced coffee would make more sense. But Nala is not me, obviously. And the coffee smoke thing just looks super cool. So yeah, that looks nice. And then the final one is... Oh, wait, no. We have two more. We have 6. Oh, I should have done it with the Nala. Hold on. Switch back over here. Then this one is the hype. So we get hypes. And it's back to Nala doing her little hype, you know, epic hypingness. I should get a sleeping one eventually. But I figure, is that a bad thing to have an emote of a, you know, like someone sleeping? Or my cat sleeping or yawning? Because then it's like, wow, I don't want... Like, I know my stream can be boring, but I don't want people to tell me that, right? I don't want to give people ammo for that. But I think a sleeping one could make sense. And then the final new one is the laughing emote. So there you are. And I'm pretty sure it should be accessible on the YouTube side as well. I just gotta figure out add emotes. Let's see if I click on each of these. 1, 2. Okay, one of the emotes is not showing up though properly, so I might need to make some updates. Okay, so one of the emotes, which one is not working? Oh, also, I don't think it's animating like it does in the on the Twitch side. So I still have a few things I need to fix, obviously, but that's one of them. So I need to fix YouTube emotes, fix alerts. Okay. But the emotes are there, but for some reason I'm not seeing them actually be animated, and one of them is completely just grayed out, empty. So oh, nice, low base already adding in the epic the wings. I love it, man. I think low base, you're the first one who showed me that you can combine emotes like that. It just never crossed my mind to do something like that. So thank you very much. Okay, so I still need to figure out what's going on with the alerts, because at least doing the test ones, it seems to be fine, right? So let's do another test. We did the sub. So I need to switch the sound effects, but here it looks fine. But then when low bass resubbed, it didn't work. So why? Why would that be? I'm using an alert box in Streamlabs. Maybe it's pulling from... Oh man, that looks so cool. Man, I like these combos. I should have access to it because I'm sub to you, right? Maybe if I change the themes. Let's see. I'm going to quickly change themes. The only thing I can think right now is maybe it's linked to one of my other alert boxes from like a different theme within Streamlabs. Because Streamlabs is not the most intuitive UI. I just assume that if I copy this widget, it should make sure to pull from the right one. Let me keep researching this real quick. I really want to make sure this works properly. Because we have custom alerts now for when you donate bits, if you donate money or like super chats on YouTube. If you follow, so like a simple follow should also show something different. And then raids, if someone raids. And what am I missing? Memberships, yeah. So like subscriptions on YouTube, or no, that's not yet. If you become a tiered member. So I need to make sure this works properly. Let's use different links for different scenes. Lets you share your widget theme quickly with your friends. These links will copy all settings. No, that's not it. Link copied. Okay, let me try. Okay, I don't know if this will work or not. Let me refresh. Okay, let me just do a simple Twitch subscription again. Okay, as far as I can tell, this should be okay. So I'm not sure what caused it. Okay, fingers crossed. I think everything should be fine. That's a big if. But you know what? This is all part of the learning curve, so hopefully, if I've done it correctly. Maple, yo, what's up, Maple? Fancy emotes and overlays, look at that. Yo, yes. Well, I wouldn't say fancy for everything. Sorry, I was distracted because Low Base just resubbed to my channel, and we were supposed to see this new amazing alerts, but it did not work. It showed like that default little bouncy emote thing on Streamlabs. So I was distracted trying to get it to work. I think it should be fine, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. Fingers crossed. Next time someone follows or does one of the actions, we can see. Maple, thanks for being here, and hopefully you're doing well. I just got back from Nigeria. I had a quick launch event with Nikon, so they were doing a launch event in Nigeria for the ZR, and man, the reception was amazing there. Everyone's super excited, especially because the price point. I think sometimes as being a Westerner, being US expat, whatever, living here, sometimes you kind of forget about the, especially if someone like me, I've been a professional photographer now, like I've spent money. I spent a lot of money on the gear, and you kind of forget sometimes how most of the world, rest of the market, cannot afford even like some of the ones that we would consider like a cheaper model. It's not the case, right? It's like super expensive in other parts of the world. So Nigeria is no different. Like yeah, the economy I don't think is doing too hot right now in Nigeria, and so just a lot of those things, right, that kind of compound. But seeing that Nikon was now launching the ZR at such a low price, like relatively speaking, man, everyone, like all those content creators that showed up, there's like I think over 150 people that showed up to the event, and it was just like universal how people were so excited, especially because of the price point of the camera. So I think this concept of gatekeeping, I kept bringing it up, but I feel like yeah, this might open doors to a lot of content creators around the world being able to start doing some really crazy cool storytelling and stuff that maybe was out of reach before. Lobe says, I technically can't even afford the gear I have. Yeah, you know what? I need to get on one of those buy now, pay later plans, right? Man. When I spent money for my 400 f2.8, that was like a real tearjerker moment. I was like, am I really spending I think at the time it was like $17,000. And oh my god, it tore a hole in my heart. So yeah, hopefully I've recovered by then. All right, so anyway, so I came back from Nigeria. wanted to go over these new emotes and badges and stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited. Again, shout out to MHEBN Mebin. You can find him on Fiverr.com, which is it's Fiverr with the 2 R's. He's an amazing artist, really, really punctual, and just like even when I like changed, I'm one of those that you either hate to work with or you love to work with. Most likely, actually, I won't say, because I'm not a micromanager by any means, but I'm very meticulous and a little bit anal about things in terms of like I spend a lot of time on every detail, and I could over brainstorm, if you will. So the good news is, hopefully, if you stick with me, the output can be really cool, whether it's like tattoos or just whatever other stuff, including these emotes and stuff. But if you don't stick with me because I'm being too much, I can completely understand. So Mebin was one of those that I think halfway through, I changed my mind on something. I was like, oh, actually, I didn't realize this thing was an issue when it comes to this type of alert. What if we do this instead? Took it in stride. This dude didn't complain whatsoever, just went right to work. And yeah, so I do appreciate that, because I'm very aware of my my quirks. So anyways, we got these new emotes and badges and stuff thanks to Mebin. I'm very excited to keep testing it out. Another thing I wanted to talk about on today's stream is I now have a new partner, or a new kind of company that's reached out to me to see if I'm interested in their product. And from all the things I could see, it seems like this product is quite amazing. It's an excellent tool, but I want to test it for myself. So they're more than open to just letting me play around with this. At the same time, now I should have a promo code lined up. I should be up and ready, if not by today, hopefully by tomorrow. So the company is called Skylum, and the product is called Luminar Neo. And I think if I type in either Skylum or Luminar Neo, it should pop open a link in the chat. But basically, it's a photo enhancing tool, and it's got its own software as well as it's a plugin. So I want to test both. But before I test it via Lightroom, because I will be doing a bit of photo editing on today's session of the stream, when I downloaded it, it came with a bunch of these tutorials. So there's these sample images, and it looks like, hopefully, it makes it a bit more intuitive for me to start learning how to use the tool. So I figured let's go ahead and try this. Lowbay says, I used to have a relationship with Skylum. Oh, I believe they're called Luminar Global now. Interesting. I didn't see that word. I'm still learning about them. So funny enough, my interview is still on their YouTube page. Yo, I wish I knew that at the time. I would have asked you. Still called Skylum. Yeah, I didn't see Luminar Global, but yeah. Well, you say you used to, so hopefully it doesn't mean you don't like their product or anything like that. But either way, I guess I'm starting a relationship with them. So let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, so as part of that, I'm testing out their software now. There was a few things that when we were going over on a prior stream, their website, some of their tools seem like things that I won't necessarily need to use. Some of those like AI things, like replacing the sky, stuff like that, I don't generally play with my images to that extent. Like I don't necessarily want to alter my images to the level that AI can potentially do it, at least not for like my main body of work. But there were a few tools that I was like, oh, this could be amazing. So some of them seem like the typical enhancement of your photos, but there was a few that like does like 3D light placement, because I do a lot of light work, like as in like putting directional light in my images when I'm editing. So the fact that they say you do like a 3-dimensional version of it, I'm really eager to try that out, and then just test out a few other features that they've got. Lowbay says, I had heard somewhere they changed their name, but I haven't been paying attention. No, I dissolved my relationship with them. Gotcha. Luminar Global is their YouTube channel name. Interesting. Man, so they've got a long history. I literally just discovered them not too long ago when they reached out. So, yeah, this is all uncharted territories for me. But yeah, I figured that's what we'll do on today's stream, is I just want to start learning, and we can learn together, right? So this is a live test of their product. And again, they were kind enough to set up this tutorial section So they have a few of these sample images, and then it looks like just by reading it, they go through each of the potential features that I might be interested in. So yeah. If you go to their YouTube channel and click the podcast tab, the very last one is me. Okay, let's do this. That's so cool. We get to see you in action here. Okay, so what is it called? Luminar Global. Luminar Neo. And then you said, please don't play it on stream. I hate the sound of my voice. No worries, man. But I'll at least go over there. Let's see. Click on the podcasts. Wow, I didn't even know that YouTube has a podcast section. Interesting. That's good news. Okay. Because I do have intent on doing my own podcast eventually. You said the very last one is me. So this one? 20. Are you sure this is you? Because it says action sports photography. Is that your niche? Maybe I'm in a different ordering. Let me know if that's you. They must be in different order. No, that's literally my face in the thumbnail. Oh, what? Low base, I don't actually know what your real name is. So, also these images are very small. Is this you? This could be you. I just can't tell because the thumbnail is so small here. It's the first one you're listing? Yeah, okay. Nice. Wow, you look much tanner in this shot here. I didn't realize. Just come back from some. That's funny though. Wait, where are you? Oh, this is your work too. Okay, hold on. Okay, we need to check this out then. Okay, I'll mute it. This is definitely you, right? Your love of spiders, macro stuff. Yo, these are excellent though. Nice. There you are. Behind the scene. Yo, how cool is that? And this was let's give it a like. So you got the multi. I'm learning how to do. I'm trying to learn how to do like podcasts eventually. And as you guys know, I'm trying to figure out the whole live stream concept once I go IRL. By the way, I have some really good updates from even that conversation. Basically, when I was in Nigeria, I met like some pretty big people within. I don't know how much I can. Basically, I met some people that could help push my concept forward in terms of what I wanted to do for a while now, which is the whole wildlife IRL streams. So when I'm traveling, bringing it to life. So I think honestly, there's a few connections that were made that might be a game changer for letting me pilot this as soon as possible. So, but yeah, as part of that, I'm looking at obviously like the Rodecaster or the ATEM Mini for doing these kind of multicam views. Lobe says, I didn't even have a mic, I just had that headset. Nice. The gamer headsets, yeah? Oh, this is 4 years ago. Nice. Well, this is great, man. Were you like the first one then? Are you saying you're the first of the series? Let's go by oldest. Oh, I guess you were one of the more. Oh, you're the latest one that they did. Gotcha. If I'm doing this correctly. Nice. Well, either way, what a small world. Luminar Neo. All right, we can exit this one. And then we got to look into HyperChat, which is the one I think Fed was mentioning. And Skylum. Okay, so I have my little notepad here. As we kind of go through this, I want to take notes, see what I like, what I don't like, the usual. I'm looking at them in the reverse order. Yeah, gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing, Low Base. Man, you're a celebrity. Oh, also, yeah, well, hold on. Before we get into that, I need to double check if all the badge system is working. So maybe Low Base, your name isn't showing up with the badge because you already have so many other badges, right? Because you have the VIP badge, you've got the you got the founder badge, 4-month subscriber, and then you have the current hype train conductor since you are so generous. So maybe you can max out at 3 badges. Otherwise, it should show up with the camera badge that I created. But yeah, that can only be my guess. We'll know the more we stream, and hopefully as people hop in and from, you know, if they're like a subscriber of mine, then we can see like the actual badges pop up. Lobe says, my eventual goal is to have so many badges you can no longer see my name, but unfortunately it's a max of 3. Gotcha. Well, wait, Lobase, are you allowed as a chatter to actually choose which badges you want to have show up? I'm curious. Cause that'd be a bummer if you're not allowed to. Yo, low base. Thank you very much. Wait, did it? But why is it not working? Okay. Thank you very much for just being super generous as always. But the freaking thing is not showing up properly. I don't even know where this little thing is coming from. Okay, I think I understand where the problem is. Thank you very much, low base. You are way too kind. Give me a moment so I can hopefully fix this issue. I'm pretty sure because it's pulling from the same URL. It's pulling from the same location. Like the emotes are popping up at the same spot. So I think it must be because I have multiple themes. And it's pulling the widget from one of the other themes than the one I want it to. So I think all I can do is just click on each of my other themes, and I just need to freaking update all of them. Jesus. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Let's see how fast I can do it though. So we need the alerts, follow, select. Yo, thank you very much, low base. you are just you are the best benefactor. Is that the right term to use? I appreciate, genuinely, obviously, I appreciate the amount of support from day one, helping me out with my stream, improving the quality. So when we become super successful, obviously it's in large part because of viewers like yourself and co-streamers as well. I do want to do some like actual co-streams. I don't know exactly what that means, but I want to do it. But let me see here. Okay, so I need to go to the CSS, go to alert text. Let's copy this. Responsible money spender. You can decide what badges appear. Gotcha. Yes, there's nothing more responsible than sending me money because it's an investment. The returns will be immense. Just you wait. Once I start doing these live IRL streams, you know, we're gonna do some crazy stuff. My goal is to do some crazy stuff with fellow photographers like yourself and streamers out in the world. Alert text. Okay, so this is the right one. Let me copy and let's change this to left. Save settings. Okay. Subscriptions. This one is membership. Text over image. I'm just doing the most mundane stuff right now. We need to change the font size. But thank you, even by you just donating and doing these alerts, obviously it's alerted me, no pun intended, but it has alerted me to the fact that my alerts are broken. Okay, well, one second. Let me read what you said in a second. I just got to copy and paste this real quick. And left, save settings. Dang it, I'm feeling sad and I'm looking at Amazon. That is not a good combo. I'm going to order a new macro lens I can't afford. Yo, what kind of macro lens are we talking about? I don't know the first, I think maybe once in my life I've shot with the macro lens. So I'm quite new to that. Resub. Oh, hold on a minute. Could that be the issue? Hold on. Let me go back to my main thing. Twitch resub. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Membership. Maybe it's because I didn't add the new alerts to people who are resubbing. This might solve everything. Hold on. Image, text over image. Although you did you just gifted sub. Oh yeah, and then I have to do it for gifted subs. Oh, okay. We have our answer. So then going forward, I apologize, low base. Hold on, it's not ready yet anyways, but hopefully we will get this properly fixed. Ah, yes. Okay, here's the reason why. So then, what is this for? Hold on. For gifted subs. Gift subs. Oh, man, that means I need a new alert for gifting subs, maybe. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. I'll reach out to Mebin. Maybe he can make a new alert for me. In the meantime, though, it'll be the same one. We can do the alerts membership. Brand I've heard of, Brighton Star 60mm f2.8 Mark II 2x macro. Jesus. That's a mouthful, man. That's a macro fool. Okay, I think this is the last change I need to make. And hopefully this means all the things should be fine going forward. So, okay, the good news is I think I figured out what the issue was. It wasn't some weird glitch. It was literally just there were some sub options that I needed to update the image and the alert settings. I thought just changing at the subscription level would do everything, but there's like sub options within, and you have to update each of those as well. So low base, previously you did a resub, not like a new sub. So since you were an OG subber, and then by doing the resub, I needed to change the alerts, image, and stuff like that for that particular type of activity. And then just now you did the other activity, which I didn't realize, which is gifting subs. So the two actions you did were the two out of all of them that I didn't change because I didn't know. So I apologize, low base, that in some ways your money did not see the fullest of its value. Now I'm just double checking everything. So I think I need to do the same thing for the bits. Jesus. All right, today's a good day. We're fixing things. 30 pixels. We're looking for 30 pixels and 24. Pixels. Okay, so default 1 bit, default 100 bits. Oh my god, this is so tedious. Although I feel like a coder because I have to copy and paste some lines of code in the CSS, and that's all the coding language I have in my brain, which I didn't even say anything. But yeah, that's all I got. Okay, default 1000 bits. Let's change that. Oh man, so this means I have more work to give to Mebin, the awesome artist. Low base is BRB. No worries at all. I'm just mindlessly making these changes. Okay, I have 2 more that I need to change. Just in case someone donates 5,000 bits or 10,000 bits. You never know, right? Okay, I think it's the final one. Although I need to double check now with YouTube as well. Okay. Could it be? Are we done? Did we fix it? Twitch was the culprit. Twitch just has so many of these subcategories, which I didn't realize. Maybe there's a quicker way to do it. I just didn't see it at the time, so. Okay, okay. I think, guys, I fixed it. So going forward, if someone does any of the actions, the main actions, right? So if you, what is it? Follow me on Twitch, Kick, or YouTube. It doesn't really matter, but if you follow me there, there should be a new little alert that pops up where you'll see my two cats kind of show up as part of the custom alert. If you, what's the level 2? If you donate bits on Twitch side, then it will show a different custom alert. If you join, if you become a tiered member, either on Twitch or YouTube or Kick, you will get a separate thing. They're all basically cat themed, so I'm using both my cats, Nala and Kimpop. Kimpop over here. Yo, look at that. Let's go ahead and refocus. That's one comfy cat right there. So I'm using Kimbap over here, and then Nala as part of the alerts. And then, oh yeah, if you do a raid. So anyways, there should be some cool little things, the new animations that pop up. I'm very excited. He's a really good artist that I worked with. And then it sounds like I might have to do a bit more work with him because I didn't realize there's like some subcategories. Anyways, so those are all set now. And again, low base, I apologize because you were so kind as to do some gift subs. You gifted 5 subs. So thank you very much for that. And you also, what else did you do? Oh yeah, you also resubbed yourself. And I apologize because for both of them, the animated thing didn't pop up. So, but thank you for being my guinea pig as I tested everything out. All right, so with all of that out of the way, I want to do a bit of editing. So let's go ahead and learn about Luminar Neo. So this is Luminar Neo's program. And I've just gone ahead and set up the account. And the first thing that pops up was this kind of sample images with the tutorials. So I figure, you know what? I kind of don't mind these types of tutorials if it's like one of those walkthroughs and you do it for yourself. So let's see how easy it is. Apply color grading in a click. Actually, let me put that in my notes as well. So things I like, things I dislike, tips maybe? I don't know. Things I like. Very intuitive tutorial walkthrough from the start. I think. We don't know if it's very intuitive yet. So far it's intuitive, but let's see. So let's see. Apply color grading in a click. Use LUTs to quickly add a new style. Set the right exposure. Fine-tune your image by lightening or darkening it. Recover details from misfocus, remove blur, and get a naturally sharp photo. Ooh, that'll be interesting to test. And set the stage for all further adjustments. Use essential controls. Emphasize your subject, darken or lighten the edge of your image. Interesting. What should I put? Piqued my curiosity. Things to explore. Edge, lightening, and darkening. Remove blur. Yeah, those so far those two I'd say from this. There's something else. Oh my god, it was in my mind and I lost it. Doesn't matter. Okay, let's keep going. So let's start with the top left one. Apply color grading in a click. Use LUTs to quickly add a new style. I see. Okay, so it's this mood section here. Apply ready-made LUTs to quickly set the color, mood, and tone of your photos. Okay, so that could be something interesting. Because right now, I'm writing these down. Hopefully it's of interest to other people as well. So if you're following along at some point, whether it's in the VOD or even live, I do hope that as we break down this tool, you can see that I'm doing this in a very genuine way. This is literally how I would want to categorize what works and what doesn't about some tool. But then if I make a future video on this product, this will become my cheat sheet for just like my quick thoughts, things I need to carry across in the video. So that's what I did for the dehancer review as well, which hopefully will be published this week. I need to work on that on the stream as well. So there was a thought that I had here. Oh yeah. I like the quick information overlay pop-ups for each section, I think, or maybe just in the tutorial. And then things to explore, creating my own. Did they call it LUTs here? They did call it LUTs, right? It's weird because I always think of LUTs only for video editing. But yeah, I'll just say LUT/presets. Okay, so as I follow this tutorial, it says apply ready-made LUTs to quickly set the color, mood, and tone of your photo. So they have an adjustment and a masking. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm more familiar now with masking, which is great. They got the tools that I like. Fed says, I got the small rig L-shaped grip for the ZR now. I ordered it from Nikon directly. It's very light, just adding the grip and more screw holes underneath the camera. Yo! Thank you for reminding me about that. You got it straight from Nikon, yeah? L-shape grip. Oh, wait. I need to be more specific. ZR. Ooh, okay, okay. Yeah, this looks perfect for what I need. Okay, I'll look into it later. Thank you. By the way, Fed, depending on how things go in the coming weeks, I'm hoping, I'm fingers crossed, but I'm hoping maybe I could line up someone like a small rig to help me out with my pilots. So as I start piloting my kind of IRL streaming with wildlife, I'm trying to line up a bunch of partners, and things looks, I'm fairly optimistic right now. And even if, like, let's say I reach out to some of these companies like Small Rig, if I do it directly, because one of the options is maybe through like other brands that I work with, they might have a relationship with Small Rig. But even if all of that falls through, at the very least, I'll buy my own, and then hopefully we'll have a successful pilot, and I want to start doing some IRL streams for next year. Oh yeah, Fed, have you been able to shoot with the ZR? Have you had any like film projects that you're able to test with? I'm very curious if you have. Oh, I also did a quick little, I captured some footage for the Nikon event. Maybe I can show it to you guys. Hold on. Actually, we can start with that. In case you're still here, Fed, because I did do a very, very quick capture with their ZR unit. Because I did a live demo as part of my presentation. So they had some performers, like Nigerian performers. After my presentation, anyone can go over there, and they did the performance. We had a whole lighting setup, and people can film. So I did a test footage prior to the start of the event, and then I quickly just did some edits. So then during my presentation, I did a live walkthrough of DaVinci, and then I showed them the quality of DaVinci by using some of those captures and how simple it is. Low base is back. Lunch is ordered and will be here soon. Ooh, what are you getting for lunch? By the way, you might have missed my apology, Low base, but I was saying my bad, because you were gracious enough to donate resub and then also gift subs. And those are the two categories of alerts that I didn't know, or I didn't change such that the my updated alerts would pop up. So I do apologize, but thank you very much. Your generosity has not gone unnoticed. So thank you, thank you. Chill and Connect is back. Hello there. Thank you for being here, Chill and Connect. Yo, we got some new, so today's a fun day, okay? We got some new emotes. Although on the YouTube side, it seems like it might be slightly broken. I might need to re-upload them or something, because they're not, they're animated, but it doesn't seem to pop up animated. And there should be some new badges as well. So as like, hopefully as you continue to subscribe to me or follow me, you will see there'll be a little badge. It's like a camera icon, and it should constantly upgrade the more time you are subbed to my channel. So as a sign of appreciation, right? Low base says boneless wings meal from Wingstop. Oh, I don't mind Wingstop. I was more of a B-dubs Buffalo Wild Wings guy. Half Cajun, half Louisiana rub. Yo, I'm getting hungry. I haven't eaten. I've only had some chips today and coffee. Cheese fries on the side. Fed says just to test the camera audio and so on. Get used to the camera. Me and a buddy are going to film some more tomorrow. Nice. Fed says hello to Chill and Connect. Apology not accepted. I want my subs back. Yo, I need to have like a disclaimer somewhere where it's like no refunds accepted. I need to make it clear everywhere, or I'll feign ignorance. Like I would like to refund you. I just it's not working. Chill says I bought the ZR and I'm very excited. Yo, welcome to the club. Okay, we're gonna take a quick pause from doing the I'm testing a new product called Luminar Neo, which does a lot of photo enhancement tools or features. So we're going to continue doing this over time because they're a new partner of mine, and there should be a promo code if you guys find this of interest. I'm just doing some of the tutorials. However, since you mentioned it, let's go ahead and hop over to showing a few more of the Nikon ZR footage. Did I say footages earlier? I might have. I need to cut that out of my brain. Where should we go? Let's just do it from the Chimp Island, even though it's not the Chimp shots. Low Base says Luminar Neo is not a new product. It is several years old. Yeah, that's right. Because, again, shout out to Low Base. Low Base was... Were you, like, a representative for them? Or, like, at the very least, they held you in high enough... They basically interviewed you for the podcast, and I think you were one of their reps for a while. So yeah, I think the YouTube, that video on the podcast was 4 years ago. So yeah, I didn't realize they're a very established company or anything like that. I just, listen, I know nothing about this world. So yeah, there's another proof of that. Chill's asking, are there any things I should know before getting it in the mail? And then Fed says, you remember you shot too dark. There's a free LUT to download to fix that. Sean F. Boyd on YouTube made it. It corrects exposure in Red Raw and also the waveform. You need this in the camera LUT. Oh my god, that could be game changing. Hold on, let's put that down. This is the Sean F. Boyd. Oh, is there a YouTube video on this maybe? Sean F. Boyd. Nikon ZR. And then, Chill, let me answer your question in a second. Let me just open this up. I fixed... Okay, it must be this one. I fixed the biggest issue with the ZR. Free monitoring LUT included. Yo, what a dude. I want to create my own monitoring LUTs as well. That's on my to-do list. I was struggling a little bit earlier, so I need to talk to ChatGPT. Okay, we're gonna watch this video. Pastel neutral LUT. Yeah, he has a video up. Nice. Low Base, I didn't work for them. I just got free stuff in exchange for saying nice things and my soul. Nice. Okay, so chill and connect. In terms of things you should know before getting it in the mail, I would say you should follow in Fed's footsteps. Fed had purchased two things that I need to purchase myself. One is the small rig L-shaped grip. So if you buy one of those L-shaped grips for the small rig, I think that would work quite nicely. I will not advocate for the full grip or the full cage, just because I wasn't a fan of how it covers up some of the buttons on the top. But this kind of like L-shaped grip, because then it gives you that extra grip as well as some of the extra screws that you need on the bottom and the plating mounting stuff. Another thing is, I already forgot, I think Fed, you're the one who told me and I forgot what it's called, but you mentioned there were some mini wind muffs that you can put on top of your the camera itself. So I think those two things would be useful to get in advance of your camera arriving. What's up, BC? Yo, BC's in the chat. BC, we got some new emotes. We got some new everything, okay? Maple's back. He says, Chia 233 and Wildboar VA are new live photographers to add your book if you'd like. Wait, are they on... So they're on Twitch, I'm assuming is what you're saying, right? Let me go ahead and add them. Chia 233. Okay, and then Chia 233 and Wild Boar VA. What is that, Virginia? Thank you, Maple. By the way, I do appreciate anytime you guys tell me someone I should follow, whether it's on Twitch, YouTube, anything like that. I am here to expand my knowledge, given how little I know. So thank you. But yes, good morning back at you, BC. Chill says, yes, I bought the grip, not the full cage. Perfect. I got the full cage and top handle for free when pre-ordering. Oh yeah, that's so crazy you had that deal. But I probably won't use it much. I want to use the camera as is with only the L-shaped grip and sometimes the shotgun mic. Yeah, I think that's all you need. Yo, look at this. Look at this grip. What the hell's this? I want this. Man, this looks sleek. I gotta trust... Man, I haven't bought something from eBay in so long. This looks amazing, though. Yo, I might have to rock one of these guys. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I know it's Christmas coming up, but I guess I should add this to my to-do list of looking at some wooden grips. I've never used grips before, so I don't know if there's anything wrong with using wooden ones. Like, is there less traction? Is there weirdness, you know, in rainy conditions? Or I have no idea. You want a good eBay store, go to Map Camera. Map Camera. Oh, it's within eBay. Okay. Oh man, you guys are putting me in a bad spot here. I'm about to spend money. I'm trying to earn money. That's why I'm streaming. Okay. Let's put this to the side. Chill and connect. Some other things you should consider, because I still need to do this myself, is look for some of those camera LUTs that you can... Look for the LUTs that you can download. I think Nikon has some free ones. Maybe it's on the Red website. I'm not sure. But there's some free ones you can download from Nikon that you can put as a view assist when you're shooting in the R3D codec. And then even we're about to download one from this YouTuber, Sean Boyd, whom I will subscribe to now. But yeah, so I would say look at getting some proper LUTs that you can put in so it becomes part of your view assist. I want to create my own eventually. That's on my to-do list. Other things to keep in mind... I mean, those are the main ones for now. Honestly, yeah. I'll have to give it a bit more thought. Fed says, I put some small wind muffs on the camera mics, tested it, and it removed most wind as long as it's only light to semi-moderate. That's all the... Yeah, that's perfect. I need to get that as well. I forgot what you called it, but I'm sure I can find it again. Lobe says, I ordered 2 lenses in 2020. They had them to my door mid-COVID lockdown. 1 in 2 days, 1 in 5 days from Tokyo, Japan to my house. Yo, man, that's... I hope you left a good review about that. Mid-COVID, they still got you what you needed. BC, man, you're well above that 100K. I think you're going to stay above 100K PPs from now on. Chill says, I've heard setting and saving some of the custom buttons on this camera can be a bit irritating. I saw that you have to save them in a certain way. Yeah, they did but they did listen, because when I was using the pre-production unit, they didn't have the things I needed to actually use the pre-programmed buttons. They did fix it, so now it is actually usable. So yeah, it's just like a couple more steps in the settings, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, I briefly wanted to go over if I have access to it. Let's see. Let's just create a new one real quick. From Nikon Nigeria. I just want to show you guys some of the clips that I captured. Nothing special. And then let's find it in my folder. This is the wrong one. Chill says, I bought a 28 to 75 f2.8 lens, not the S. Hopefully that's okay. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a great lens. That's a great range, and that's a great aperture. So, Bumblebee Invisible Lav Covers set was what I got. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna write that in my Discord because I keep losing it elsewhere. Let's put that in the Hangout chat. What was it? Bumblebee Invisible Lav Covers. Okay. Fed says that's a great lens. I think he's yeah. So to chill, Fed is saying that's a great lens that he's planning on getting as well. Okay, I need to disconnect this one. This is the wrong one. Here we go. This is the right portable SSD. There it is. Raw clips. Nigeria, X Nikon, raw clips. Okay, I don't know if it's all of these, but should be within here. Dang it, no, these are not the right ones. These ones. Okay, hold on. Hold on a minute. We don't want these. We want these. I'm just pulling up some of the captures from the event, so I can show you guys just some extra examples of the Nikon ZR and how simple it is. Honestly, like, I really don't do anything crazy with it. And it's amazing. The number of people that are like, yo, this looks so complicated. During my presentation, I was trying to prove a point that this camera literally does make it so that you can get some very cinema quality features without needing much else. So just by shooting this in that internal R3D NE codec, you can end up with some wonderful, wonderful captures. So let me drag these guys in. And of course, with that 32-bit float, you can see it here, right? How loud the... Yeah, so it's like super loud, but then that 32-bit float, 32-bit float is amazing, because obviously I can drop this down. I should probably turn that down a bit. Lobe says, Fed says, I plan on getting Tamron's one. They're very similar. The Nikkor 28-75 is based on Tamron's. Lobe says, I'm sitting here staring at VS Code trying to will myself to make an edit. I've done about all the planning that I can do. I know as soon as I start doing this for real that there will be much screaming and raging. I'm trying to decide if I have the motivation to do it. Nice. Well, I have no motivation to give you on that. That sounds like a you problem, and I have no way to contribute. I'll probably contribute in a bad way. Chill says, I sold my prior hybrid camera to pay for some of this new cam gear. I've only ever had a f4 to 6 whatever, and I film in low light scenarios. Ooh, okay. Well, we're about to watch a video that Fed suggested, which is about shooting in low light with the ZR, which could help me as well, because I tend to do that. But then also I want to show you some examples, because I filmed this intentionally in a very low light condition, and like I filmed this underexposed, because as part of my demo I wanted to show even when you underexpose, the quality of your captures can look really good with this ZR. So what you see on screen here is going to be some of those examples. I just want to slow motion it all, and we're going to go and mute it. We don't need the audio. These are all shot at 4K 120 frames per second in that DX mode. And it was shot in R3D NE codec. And we're going to go and do the conversions and all that fun stuff. So... and then we'll go through it in a second. Save a lot of money on the 28-75 and still get f2.8 as long as you don't mind losing the 24 wide end. It's a great cheaper option. Yeah, the 24 is nice, but it's not necessary. Like if you're shooting landscape or like landscape shots, although, you know, actually I don't know, I was gonna say for photo it's not as necessary because you can stitch photos together for landscape, but I guess for video it's slightly different. But honestly, I felt after shooting that chimpanzee documentary and shooting with the 35 millimeter, I was like, yo, 35 is where it's at. Anything wider than 35 is good, but the 35 was like the really nice separation that's possible and still getting a wide angle. Image quality is comparable to much more expensive options. I do love the fact that it has a 32-bit float with internal mics. Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so let me just take a few examples here. So you can see I like straight up underexposed the living crap out of this, but it was intentional. It was so that I wanted to like do a quick test to see how much of this can you gain back, essentially, from your edits. So for example here, let's go ahead and minimize a few of these things. Let's go ahead and turn everything off. Oops. Okay. So one of the lessons that I learned from, I think it was maybe Colin Kelly or one of those guys, they were saying when you need to lift your exposure, you should go into the HDR wheel and go into the global wheel, and then you can lift from there. So I just want to do this to like kind of prove points, but also it's just like, yo, this is kind of nice that you can rescue so much detail, even when you shoot in like the absolute darkest underexposed kind of manner. So here I'm just lifting it like 1.5 stops or so, just from that one tool. Let's look for some nice moments though. That might be a better... Okay, let's use this one. It's the same thing. Let's just go ahead and lift. So we'll just lift it like half a stop for that section. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, we'll lift it like a full stop. And then, yeah, I literally have nothing else. Like, nothing else is doing anything right now. So if I go ahead and, like, even disable these just to prove a point. The only thing that's happening right now is it's just converting the color space. So it's taking that R3D... oh, am I in the wrong space? Hold on. I think I chose the wrong one. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Hold on. So it should be even better now. Okay, we're gonna restart because I think I applied the NRAW power grade instead of the R3D one. Fed says f2.8 is one full stop brighter than f4, so that's great. Going from f2.8 to f4 is the same as going from ISO 6400 to 12800, for example. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know the math behind that. Low base says, turns out I have exceeded my free usage allowance with Super Base and have to get a paid plan now. What is Super Base? Fed says I got Nikon 40mm f2 for low light at 6K. And the Viltrox 25 1.7. Ooh, nice. In the APS-C 4K mode. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I was shooting this in the 4K, or sorry, in the 4K 120. And I think I was shooting with like a 20mm or like a 25, something in that range. Okay, let's go back to the one I was just testing here though. Let's hide these. All right, same principle applies. Which is, look at the waveform here. It is super dark. So before and after, this is how I shot it, which is like very underexposed. It's almost hugging the zero line, which is I guess pure black. But then just with that color space transform, you can see just the way I have it all set up. it actually makes it hug the black even more. So it kind of darkens everything. So let's go ahead and turn off everything. So just from that conversion though, from the red wide gamut RGB, red log 3G10 into the DaVinci wide gamut space, and then converting into Rec 709, we're getting like honestly, it just looks great. It looks fantastic with like maybe minimal work required. Just from that one quick switch, I feel like you're getting some high color quality shot where yes, you can always spend more time to color grade yourself, you know, lift the exposures and all that fun stuff. But generally speaking, just on its own, I think it's very clean. And like I said, we can lift it up quite a bit. So let's lift it by like a stop. And we can just play with everything as needed. Just do like a little bit of that basic ass curve. Nothing else. I just want to see how it looks. Oh yeah, and let's go ahead and put the playback to full. I think this looks great. Honestly, I was like, yo. And so I was using a few of these moments to kind of just send that message home. Chill's asking, do you happen to know how much time you get with 1 terabyte in R3D NE in 24 or 30 frames? I don't, but I could actually do a test right now. Although I guess Fed already has the answer. Fed says F2 is another stop brighter than F2.8. 6K 24 in Red Raw, you get around 100 minutes, give or take a few minutes on a 1 terabyte card. Yeah, I film with a 1 terabyte card all the time now. And even for my chimp project, I was filming in 1 terabyte cards at 6K 60 frames usually. And I believe I was getting like about 20-30 minutes of film time. Don't quote me on that, but it was like pretty decent. Yeah, so again, just kind of just showing the quality here. And I guess the before and after. So this is what it looks like when it was in that flat raw capture. And then really not with anything I did, just doing that color correction. The color space conversion into Rec 709 and just lifting it up by 1 exposure stop. Like, this is what you get, right? And to most people, this is enough. Like, honestly, sure, I guess you could be a bit more on the creative side. You can use all that color space, color science knowledge and like do crazier things with this. But just to have this quality, just by recording in a certain internal codec and having a free tool like DaVinci, and then I'm going to provide my power grade template for free. But yeah, the point is like, yo, you can do all this with free assets and get quality that, in my opinion, is like, just, it's fantastic. Let's see, is there another shot? So like maybe this shot. We can take a second here. Let's find a moment. Okay, because I kind of like I like the framing of this one. So hello BT. BT's in the chat. Yo, it's good to see it. It's good to see everyone here, popping in at times. If you shoot in 4K APS-C Red Raw, you get double that. Says Fed, 200 minutes. Nice. This is way better than what my prior camera could do. It is like, again, honestly, the word that I kept using, I didn't use it too often, but I was saying this during my presentation and during some of the podcast interview things that they had me do afterwards. It's like this feeling that Nikon is essentially removing that gatekeeping that the other brands have essentially put in place that was unnecessary, which is like, you get all these pro cinema features, but you gotta dish out, you know, multi-thousands of dollars to get that quality. And now Nikon is basically just scratching the surface of like affordable but still expensive, but on the lower range, right? So $2,200 or so, and you're getting these like pro cinema features. You're getting the internal raw recording. You're getting like, you know, the ability to get some cinema level quality without anything else. To me, it's a game changer, especially for some of the budget markets, or like those markets, like even like I was saying, Nigeria, where yeah, it's not like one of the most booming economies right now. So to be able to help young creators be able to access tools at a cheaper, I guess, floor, or a lower floor, I think that it speaks to a good marketing strategy, in my opinion, that can resonate with some of these markets. Low bases, wings, and cheese fries have arrived. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. If you shoot in NRAW normal, the lower bitrate, you get doubles. Yo, Fed, by the way, because I was speaking with, he's like the head of sales and strategy at Nikon in their area. And I was speaking, there's a few other Nikon reps, obviously, but I did relay your comment and a few others based on like the live streams that I've been doing. So I did let him know that one of the feedback that I received was offering the R3D NE codec with a normal version, just like NRAW has a normal and a high. So he took that down as like a takeaway. And I'll be speaking with a few more Nikon people later. So just as an FYI, your guys' feedback, I am trying my best to get that out into the you know, the broader world. BD's asking, how are y'all? We're all, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm doing well. I just got back from Nigeria. There was a Nikon ZR, kind of, I guess it was like a soft launch, but they did another kind of launch event. So I was the, I guess, the international speaker for that. And everything went off really well. They treated me very warmly. I've gotten back a few days ago, and now I'm just catching up on things. We have some new emotes. We have some new alerts, and like other, we have some new badges on the Twitch and YouTube side. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. We have some animated emotes. So they're of my cats. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. There's an artist named Mebin, who I worked with on Fiverr. I'll type his name in the chat. Amazing quality. I'm super excited with it all. I'm coming from the Canon EOS R, says Chill and Connect. Nice, nice. Welcome to the family. The level of professional you are is directly related to how much money you spent on your gear. Everyone knows this. In which case, yeah, I should be up there. The red raw normal is what most people want the most. Yeah, so that's what I relayed to them, Fed. So I'm sure they must hear from other people as well, but who knows? Who knows? At the very least, you're a contributing voice to hopefully potential changes that they make. No promises. So we're just briefly taking a look at one of the captures from that event. This is just during the test setup, so we were just testing the lighting, and just the dancers were just doing a few minutes, and I was just filming just to see how things look. I wasn't going for perfection or anything like that. But again, just from, let's go ahead and create a second version. Same thing, let's go ahead and turn this off and then compare. This is all coming from that color space transform into the Rec 709. BD says, nice, hope you had a good time. I did. It was very quick. You know, one thing I'll mention, oh yeah, I was going to say one of the negatives about Nigeria, I believe it is the most corrupt government in Africa. All the ambassadors are telling them that. Nice, nice. Actually, this could be a good question for ChatGPT. Hello, Amber. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. So feel free to go ahead and let me know what you need.
Is Nigeria the most corrupt government in Africa? Or I thought I had heard that key fact a year ago. Is that still true?
So that kind of ranking can change over time, and it really depends on the source and the year. If you're talking about something like the Corruption Perceptions Index, that gets updated every year, and different countries might move up or down that list. Nigeria has often been noted for corruption issues, but it's not always at the top of that list. So if you're curious about the current state, we can definitely check the latest data, but it's not.
Jesus, I feel like she's too, ChatGPT is like trying to avoid saying anything that could come off as like being negative to anybody. But I'm pretty sure at one point it was like the most corrupt, in Zimbabwe is like number 2. But it's a funny corrupt. It's like the nicest corruption you'll face as a tourist. At least in like as long as you're being smart about it. Like we had to have security guards with us. We're like in these trucks that have like cages in the bed of the pickup truck, so people can't steal stuff. But I swear, the number of people that work in the government when you're going through the airport and stuff like that, where they're straight up just like with a smile on their face, they're asking if you have any money for them, right? Even the person doing the visa stamp for me or the customs check, they're just smiling at you. When you're going through security, they're like, "Oh, nice tattoos." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." "Oh, those tattoos, they cost a lot of money, yeah?" So yeah. "Oh, so you have a lot of money then. Do you have any money for me?" It's like, damn, dude. It's like they just like smoothly add it in, but they do it with a smile on their face. They don't push about it. If you say no, I don't, they just move on. It's the weirdest, friendliest corruption I've faced. Corruption's too strong of a word. It's just people are pushy, or they're shameless about asking for money, I guess. But it was very, very funny the way that happens. Everyone's very, very friendly is what I'm trying to say, even when they're trying to take your money. BD says, I've been shooting a series this past week, 16 hours a day, so it's been fun, sarcastically. Continuing tonight. Dude, 16 hours, that's insane. Hopefully it's an amazing series. The latest series that I'm taking the most notes with is Pluribus. Oh man, Pluribus is so fun to watch. Not just for the storyline, because I do like the sci-fi related stuff. It's now that have this newfound interest in filmmaking and understanding cinematography, I have a keener eye, or I'm being more receptive to try to take notes about different filming decisions that are made by some of the best out there. You know, how did they do this shot? What did they do about the lighting in this? What was this cool creative composition that they did? And I feel like Pluribus has a lot of those moments. So yeah, I do recommend watching that. Low base says, so what you're saying is if I have enough money, I can get away with whatever I want. That doesn't happen in any other government, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Welcome to the US, right? Fed says she won't ever admit some are worse than others. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm reading it now, but yeah, ChatGPT, what the hell? For 30 frames per second, the numbers are very similar, maybe a few minutes less since more frames are close enough to chill. BD says it had a huge first season, so trying to follow that up, hopefully. Nice. BD, are you not allowed to say what projects you're working on? Is there some kind of like NDAs and stuff you have to deal with? In the meantime, let's go ahead and quickly edit this footage. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I just wanted to show that just basically right out of the camera, the quality that you get with just the Rec 709 conversion, it looks very, very clean. And again, it's even with the fact that I filmed this very underexposed. So you're looking at the settings here, it's fairly underexposed, and yet with just that conversion, it's like hugging the zero line. So it's as close to black, pure black as you can imagine. But everything looks good. And of course we can go ahead and make a few changes. So we'll just lift the exposure just a bit. And then I think maybe I just want to change the temperature of this shot slightly. What did we learn from Cullen Kelly on this one? I think we need to go to the linear gain wheel. So we're going to go to this color wheel. So if we want to make color changes, we'll use this. And I think I want it to be slightly cooler and pinkish almost. I think before it was a little too yellow. So I'm just playing around with it. Okay, this is good enough. So this is what we get with just like a few random changes that we make. BD says not this one yet. Fed says you need that Sean F. Boyd LUT so you can nail exposure every time. Oh yeah. So we need to watch that video pronto. I just wanted to show again very, very quickly. This is the quality you get basically almost straight out of the package, straight out of the box with the ZR, just by shooting in that R3D NE codec, by putting it through DaVinci, by converting it into Rec 709. This is what you get. And to me, that's so amazing. And this is what allowed so many people to say such kind things about my short film with the chimpanzees, where people, you know, they say I'm like, you know, whatever, but it's like, when I try to tell people, and you guys see it, all of you guys in the chat, you guys are keenly aware of how ignorant I am about everything: cameras, lenses, accessory brands, film techniques, and stuff like that. And yet, people are coming up to me being like, "We're so impressed with your footage," and it's like, it's really just because I'm cheating by using a nice camera like this that made a lot of the work super easy. So, anyways. Yeah, so hopefully, Chill, you are going to be very excited when you do get your ZR. And also, let's say if you end up being disappointed, because we had one person in the chat, he was disappointed because unfortunately it sounded like he got a faulty unit because it kept overheating. Like he was saying the moment he turned it on, the camera would overheat. So hopefully you don't run into issues like that. But let us know. We've got a number of amazing, what would you call it? Photographers, videographers, just and people with ZRs in the chat. So yeah, with that LUT you get less noise. It's been a great help fixing the strange issue in the camera. Must be a bug. Interesting. Okay, let's go check out this video. And then, like I said, one of the things I want to do is continue working on this Luminar. I wonder if I can I do two things at once? Let's pause the music. And I'll need to put my headphones on for this, I think. I'm assuming that there would be a heat warning, but not overheating. I don't know. I think it was Radu in the chat on the YouTube side. He said it literally would just be super hot from the moment he turns it on, like fairly close, like immediately, and it would just stay that way. So it definitely doesn't sound like a normal issue. It was definitely, unfortunately, he just happened to get a faulty unit. So Lowbase says upgrading the bot database to have more computing power. Okay, awesome, thank you. Fed says I never had any issues. Yeah, so far I haven't. I've had one issue with my ZR here with the micro HDMI and a USB-C cable to charge it, where when I have my computer on and I hit the power button, the initial time I try to power on the camera, it kind of gets stuck and then it powers off and then I have to hit it again. So that's one little glitch that I've noticed, at least when these cables are plugged in to my PC when I'm using, for streaming and stuff. So it's a very niche issue. One thing I wanted to let you guys, oh yeah, one quick little update. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. I've got a new little, it's one of those night lights, but it's a freaking cat. So I thought that was cute. I'm still waiting for some of those things that I purchased for Black Friday, I'm going to say. It's still waiting to arrive. Yo, thank you for using that awesome emote. Yes, we got some new emotes in the chat. They're of my cat. Yo, it looks so cool. Thank you for that. I will eventually replace this Yobel Prize signage. I might put it somewhere else because now we're running two streams. We've got my Yobel Prize, and then I've got a new channel called Lo-Fi Catnaps. I created on Twitch as well, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on Twitch. But for YouTube, I will, because it'll be a new channel where I can do my co-working streams as well as doing some of those long, relaxing music video stuff. So if you guys want to follow my YouTube channel, I should know how to do this. Jesus. Is it just youtube.com/@lofi-catnaps? I think. Let's see. Yes. If you guys want to follow my channel, I've literally just set it up. I still have a lot of things I need to add to it. But give it a follow if you would like. Eventually, I'm going to start streaming on this. Fed says, basically shooting until the limit of 2 hours, 5 minutes. There's a limit in camera like in the Z6 III. You can just start filming again. Yeah, I do know about that limitation where they just put a cap on if you're doing a super long recording. There's no issues with streaming. It's just when you hit the record button. Yeah, and you'll run out of space, yeah, before that limit anyways. Yep. Okay, So what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got the new little cat thing. We're gonna replace a few things here in terms of the accessories, and it's gonna be a nice little cat sanctuary in the future. Now let's go back to this guy. We're gonna watch this video. Let me put my headphones on so I can listen. We're gonna sit my ass down and learn. So this is a video that Fedorevsky has shared in earlier from a creator named Sean Boyd. It's called "I Fixed the Biggest Issue with the ZR, Free Monitoring LUT Included." So shout out to this guy Sean Boyd. And let's go ahead and sounds like I need to download this LUT. I'll do this on the side here. Oh, I should totally do the same thing as what he's doing in terms of like, because I want to give some stuff away for free, but I should add in this little tip area. So it's like, hey, it's for free, but if you would like to donate some dollars my way at the same time, obviously I would appreciate it. Okay.
I am a director and cinematographer based out of Los Angeles, California area, and I am the proud owner, like many of you watching this video, of the Nikon ZR, the first collaboration with Red. And with a background using so many Red cameras over the past few years, I was absolutely excited to get this thing. I pre-ordered it right away, and I've been using it, and I've been loving it. However, there is a huge gripe, the exposure and the exposure tools on this camera.
Oh my God, I was going crazy. Hold on. Because the soundtrack he's using is one of the soundtracks that I've downloaded either from Artlist or from MusicBed. And so I thought I was going crazy. I was like, wait, I thought I paused the music. Where's it coming from? Okay, it's this guy's. Nice.
Nailing and getting this right is so integral
taste for
to you
music.
actually having footage that you go home with and that you're proud of and that you want to show your client.
Unless you have a larger card like the 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte. I'm gonna have to invest in those soon.
This brings me to why I'm here. I've developed a shooting LUT that I'm going to be calling pastel neutral, and this is something that you can load into your camera, you can shoot and expose with. It affects your waveform pretty accurately to that of the log, and it really helps to preserve those highlights. It's going to have some nice saturation, and it's just overall very neutral. It's nothing that's too stylized, it's nothing that's too creative at all, where I think you can use this in multiple different platforms. And I'm going to be releasing this entirely for free, so I'm curious to get you guys' feedback. You can find me on Instagram at @TheSeanBoyd, or you can find me on YouTube at Sean Boyd. So like me, I think a lot of you are probably thinking the same. When you're shooting with a client or you're shooting on set alone, you don't want to look at the log image. You want to look at some nice, beautiful, saturated, crisp, wonderful image, and you want to look at that monitor and you want to go, wow, that looks amazing. So there's a problem that I was having myself, and when I use the built-in factory LUT, the problem with it is that when you have it on and you have a bright scenario and you have sunlight or any lights inside the frame, the highlights are completely nuclear. They're blown to hell. And what ends up happening is you will then go to yourself, oh man, that looks terrible. Let me just bring down my exposure. And then this.
I see. Okay, so Fed, I see what you're saying, because yeah, he's saying what I voiced previously when I was doing the pre-production shots on the island, where I just didn't end up trusting what I saw via the view assist, because it looked way overexposed. If I adjusted such that the waveform is where it's supposed to be, where it's just like the, what is it, the exposed to the right or whatever, so then I wouldn't trust the camera or that camera's waveform, and I would end up shooting darker than was recommended until the view assist looked correct, but then the waveform looked dark. So it sounds like he's basically explaining that as not just a me problem, or maybe it is a bit broader of a problem. And so, okay, gotcha.
This will look okay.
Fed says I only have a bunch of 512 gigabytes I use for my Blackmagic. I need to get a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte for the Nikon at some point. Well, Fed, if at some point you decide to do that, and if you would like to purchase the ProGrade brand, which is the one I use, there is a link on my website which you can click on, and I think it helps me somehow, some kind of affiliate thing or whatever. But yeah, I think it's connected to B&H. Okay, let's keep watching.
okay. And the problem with that is that's not actually what's happening. It's just the LUT that's doing this. So then you'll end up exposing darker to preserve your highlights. Meanwhile, they were never actually clipped. And then underneath that LUT, what's happening is you're completely obliterating all of your black and shadow information. So then when you get home, you take it into Resolve, whatever you edit on, you're gonna go, oh my God, I've made an absolute mess. This looks atrocious. This does not look at all like any of the footage that I've been seeing out of this camera. And I've had this issue time and time again. So I'm excited to be releasing this. You guys let me know what you think. I hope it's a huge help to all of you, and I can't wait to see your footage.
Wow, quick and easy. I like this guy. I need to learn from how he's doing this. Just keep it simple. Don't add too much. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, Fed, for sharing that. Oh, this is interesting. Someone named Nikon Travel Filmmaker. And they replaced the KON with the camera. Oh, even this song I know. I have this song. Wow, this looks great. Okay, sorry, I'm going on a bunch of tangents, but I'm taking some notes. I obviously I get inspired. I think I get inspired quite easily, but watching this is definitely giving me some ideas, especially with the number of footage that I have. Because right now, a lot of my time is spent trying to figure out how to create some nice travel vlogs in a more cinematic way. But then I would also want to create some quick content, something like this, right? Because this is only less than 3 minutes, cinematic music, cinematic shots, everything cinematic, hashtag cinematic. But I can do this with my footage as well, right? Nothing fancy, just taking a few moments and blowing it up to be its own thing. So I want to just keep a note for that. Create less than 3 minute short. I guess we'll call them films, but not really, but like short films. And then let's say okay. Fed says, yeah, waveform and looking at the screen looks like it's blowing out highlights at 80 IRE, so it's about 2 stops wrong. Okay. The LUT fixes it, and it's also much more pleasing with correct highlights. Now, Fed, is this something that can be fixed as a firmware update? Because in which case I can see using this as a LUT for now, and then when it gets fixed, it'll be unnecessary. But I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but I guess roll-off is correct, and it just looks more like a nicely graded image. Quick and easy, just like low base. Nice. Helpful to have this look in camera so you see the image more like your grades will end up. 6K R3D RAW, but YouTube only goes to 4K 60 frames per second. Wait, chill. Oh yeah, sorry, I see Fed's message below, because I think that's what I read, is what Fed is saying. You can upload 6K and 8K, but most just edit the 6K and export to 4K. So yeah, usually I think 4K is reasonable. I think 4K on YouTube is what you should post for most people. I'm working on a 6K video, which is like a full extended cut of all of my chimpanzee shots from my recent trip to Uganda. But that's like intentional because I shot mostly in 6K, so I'm just going to be posting like a full-on 6K concept. So I'm assuming this content creator is doing the same thing by saying 6K red raw, or it might not be, actually. Let's see. Yeah, at least on my side, it's only going up to 4K. So either they're just saying 6K red raw as in like they originally captured this in 6K, but now it's just being posted as 4K. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right. Let me add this. I need to create an album. I need a playlist for, oh yeah, inspirations. There we go. All right, any other YouTube videos I need to watch? Okay, I think we're good for now. Let's just put some music back on, and then I thought there was something I was supposed to do. Should be easily fixed with new firmware. Awesome, awesome. Oh yeah, let's close out the DaVinci thing real quick. And let me take my headphones off. Fed says I film in 6K often, then export in 4K, upload to YouTube. It gets rid of some of the noise too this way. So there's some added benefits to doing that. Okay, so just to kind of cap this off, again, I just want to show this is the quality you end up getting with just very, very, very minimal adjustments. And even in a situation where I was shooting fairly dark and underexposed, the camera does still have so much power behind it that you are able to rescue quite a bit of detail, regardless of those other issues that you're fighting against. And then with this new LUT that I'm going to test out going forward, hopefully that does also help just correct for the camera's bugs. And yeah, then we get this beautiful shot in slow motion. Okay. So that is the ZR. One thing I need to do is export this template. I think we're good with the template now. Is there anything else I need to change to this template? Oh yeah, Fed, I think you had sent me something before. I need to add one more step here about the edge sharpening. So I need to update my template with that. Otherwise, I think we're good. Okay. F-stopper.
Everyone who gets serious about videography eventually wants to go out and buy an external monitor. You want more real estate to actually see what you're...
I'm just testing the volume level. I think that's obviously a bit loud.
You're filming, because the little screens that come on these cameras, they're not cutting it. Portkeys just sent me their new, very affordable external monitor, and it fixes a massive problem I have had with external monitors pairing with Sony cameras. I have had this...
Okay. What's up, Kavai? Kavai is in the chat. Hello, hello, Kavaitsu. Fez says the biggest issue when shooting too dark like this and then fixing in post is, of course, much more noise when shooting raw. Yeah, exactly. So, but even here, it's like, even with the underexposure, I don't even have the noise reduction turned on. But what I see here is, I guess what I would feel is like acceptable levels of noise. It's not like perfect by any means, but you can see the noise, but it's just not, it's not like that bad. And then I'm assuming once we play around with the noise reduction, we can make it even better. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, obviously I want to avoid these scenarios where I'm shooting in a very underexposed manner. But really, the whole point was I wanted to show, even in the worst case scenario where you are shooting quite underexposed, the extra dynamic range of this camera allows you, as you know, because the people who make this mistake are people like me, where we're kind of either new to filmmaking, we're still like at the beginner to intermediate level of like capturing film the right way, or video, where we are maybe more prone to shooting underexposed because we just don't know any better, right? So for people like me, even if I end up making that, you know, beginner's mistake or whatever, amateur's mistake, there's such a handicap involved that it almost doesn't matter. You still end up with fairly good quality. Not just fairly good, amazing quality. And then if you are a professional, then obviously you have a bit more value there. There's a bit of noise correction in the red raw menu. Okay. It's on by default. Gotcha. All right, so I want to continue going through this tutorial. Let's just do full screen. I wanna give it a proper attention here. So this is the Luminar Neo. It's a product from Skylum, and it does a lot of photo enhancing. So it seems to do quite a bit, if I'm honest. So we've got our little note-taking cheat sheet. Where is it? This guy. So I'm going to take some notes as we go, every time I see something of interest. So we're starting with this color grading. So they use, one thing I noticed is they use the word LUTs. I don't know why, but I always assumed that LUTs was more of a video terminology and like presets was for photo, but I guess it would apply for both. So in this tutorial, they're showing me that there's a section called mood. And so let's say under adjustment, I can choose a LUT. Let's just choose, okay, so nice. Okay, first thing I like is they're showing me a preview immediately. So that's obviously very, very useful. I'm not going to change anything right now. I just want to see what they've got. Okay, so these are all good to know. Cool, cool, cool. And yeah, you can adjust the amount, the contrast. You've got a masking section. Let's see how good the object select is. Ooh, I like how the UI was. They did make it look fancy. So I've selected object select, and it's using its AI to kind of determine what is it that you're trying to mask. So let's actually see how good it is, and then where can you make adjustments. So for instance, when I click on the sky, right now I'm seeing it's not the most accurate because it's not catching all of it. So let's say if I wanted the sky, I click on this. Can I add more to it? So I can hit this add button. Okay, so this add button, I think this one is not as good as Lightroom. Because at least with Lightroom, you can actually take a manual brush, unless I'm missing that option. So here, for example, Fed says it's on by default. I think it's chroma noise, color noise reduction. So it's a good idea to just keep it on. Oh, you're saying keep it on within the within ZR? Okay. All right, so just kind of early thoughts with this tool. I don't think it's as good as, like, I would probably stick to Lightroom for these kind of stuff. So even like the presets, because I have my own presets within Lightroom. Generally speaking, I'm happy with just continue to do the color grading inside of Lightroom as opposed to third party. So I would say this is kind of like okay, but it could be better. It's got the radial gradient. Let's see how good this is. Okay, I mean, this looks fairly bog standard, you know? It does what I expect it to do. You can invert it. Nice. Okay. What else? Linear gradients. Click and drag to draw a gradient. Yep. Now, one thing I'm realizing, though, is, let's say, what happens if you create multiple masks? Where was I? Can I delete mask actions? Okay, they do have a brush. Oh, I see. Okay, so you are able to combine these things. Kavai is asking, this is the same program you briefly looked at last stream? Yes, yes. Before I traveled. So I've come back from Nigeria. So now we're just doing a few things, catching up and all that. But this is called Luminar Neo from Skylum. I'll put it in the chat. I don't know if the promo code's working just yet, but just as an FYI. Perhaps you've already told about your trip. I'd love to hear. Yeah, I'm happy to, obviously. I'll multitask a little bit as I'm just playing around with this. So basically, I went to Nigeria for Nikon. They were doing a kind of like a soft launch-ish, but they were doing a launch of the ZR in Nigeria. And there was about, I think, 150 people or so, attendees. a lot of young content creators, people were really excited about the ZR launch. So a year ago, I was in Nigeria for the Z6 III soft launch. And same thing, everyone was super excited that Nikon was making a splash. They were excited to see what Nikon was going to do next. And I think with the ZR announcement and obviously with the launch, I feel like it really speaks to the Nigerian market at the very least. And the reason being that price point is insane. So at the price point that you've got, it actually opens up the doors for a lot of content creators who might have been somewhat gatekept from getting access to the more expensive cinema cameras. And again, it's like, it's not just buying a cinema camera. Let's just say like the Blackmagic cameras or whatever, red cameras, before whatever. It's also having to buy all the accessories, the gimbals, the memory cards, the microphones, and everything else that comes with like what you need to do to have a cinema camera with cinema features. And instead, here comes Nikon with the ZR, which is like a very familiar consumer camera body at a very budget-friendly cost that has professional cinema features that renders a lot of the other accessories unnecessary for majority of people, especially if you're starting out, right? So not needing that external monitor because you got a 4-inch display, not needing a shotgun mic necessarily because you've got that nice 32-bit float, and it's also got the directional mics built in. So it could work for most people, or potentially. You don't need the gimbal, or maybe less of a need for a gimbal because it's got that, what is it, the 6.5, 7.5 IBIS. It's got that red color science. So now you're getting that raw 6K, 4K in the R3D codec. So you're getting like all these features in the most budget-friendly thing. Anyways, I'm going on a little too long about it. Point is, the excitement was real. And they treated me very well. I was treated like a celebrity. Everyone wanted my photo, which is so insane to me. It's like, yeah, it's just absurd. But yeah, wonderful trip. And the presentation went off very well. I was able to show some of the nice features of the ZR. They played my short film the day prior. They did a similar thing as what happened for me in Dubai, where they did a cinema. They rented out a cinema, and then they played a bunch of the short films on the big screen. So it was super cool hearing all the feedback. Man, I had one person tell me straight up, I don't know how important this guy is or not, but I think he works for like newspapers and stuff like that. Anyways, he straight up told me like, yo, this short film that you made, this is the type of thing that wins grants. Like it's the type of thing that you make your name off of, you get opportunities from. And so it was like very encouraging that he said that. I don't know what that means though. I don't know like how to I don't know how to win grants with the video. I'm not sure if there's like these kind of competitions and stuff that you're supposed to send your short film to. I think we briefly looked into it online on a previous stream. But anyways, he made me sound, he built up my confidence a bit more that hopefully I can leverage that short film for more opportunities in the future. So yeah, it's just a wonderful trip. I was able to catch up with some important people that can make my wildlife live streaming concept. Once we start doing IRL streams next year, I think I'm one large step closer to making that pilot and that concept come to life starting next year. So I have a call tomorrow with some potential partners to see if I can get all the tech and the financial stuff settled, because doing these travel IRL streams are not going to be cheap, right? So that's a big part of what I'm doing, is in terms of like the pitch deck and like the emails and the conversations I'm having. So King, yo, what's up? King is in the chat. King says no need to film in the dark, just rig DMG dash with dot diffuser to your cam setup. There's a bunch of words there that I need to kind of digest. I don't know what a DMG dash with dot diffuser is. Kavai says famous, nice, you deserve the praise. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Yo, I need to get the emotes. So just quick update since we have some new people in the chat, or just to catch up. We have new emotes, new alerts, and new badges. So let me double check. I don't know how these badges work. I don't know if it's only for people who are subscribed to me, or if it works if you've been following me for a certain amount of time. But I do know there's something where it's like, if you've been subscribed or followed me for a number of months, then the little badge icon will keep evolving. So hopefully that's another incentive to get people to put their money into my pocket and subscribe. But it's shout out to the artist on Fiverr, Mebin. So we got some new emotes, new badges. Let me pop the emotes in real quick. And they are all themed after my cats. So I could not be more happy about it. Let's just pop that in there. On the YouTube side, I made it so it's accessible there too. Although I might have a glitch in there because it didn't look like it was animated. So either it doesn't accept animated emotes. I'm not sure. I got to double check on the YouTube side. Tier 1 sub looks like. They look awesome. Okay, that's what it is. And then hopefully as we grow as a channel, I think I can unlock more emotes to provide on the free tier as well as the other tiers. I have to look into this. I feel like they limit how many emotes you can have on Twitch. And I know there's some third-party plugins. I'm just not as familiar with all of that. Because obviously I would love to give all of you guys access to it just for being here, for your support. So we'll see. But then the alerts have changed. Let me do a quick test one so you guys can see. So, oh yeah, if you give me a raid, there will be a new emote thing that pops up. If you follow me, if you subscribe, become a member, donate super chats or bits. What else? You know, like all the typical stuff, right? And let's do a test one with the follow. Nice. So then you get a little, so this one you see Kimbap pop his head up just to say hi. And so we've got some new little actions that happen. Some are like photography based ones. And then I'm going to create new ones over time, obviously. But yeah, I really like the artist Mevin, and I like the work. And we have a few more things I need to create. So yeah. Anyways, that's just to quickly catch everyone up on what's been happening. Are my cats here? Yeah, shout out to Kimbap. Yes. Let me change the focus point. Good boy. It's like he recognized he's on camera now. There we go. Good boy. Look at him. Actually, this is a perfect time. Let me use my emote. I need a sleeping emote. There we go. And then is Nala here? There's Nala. So for Nala, we got the hearts and the hype and the coffee. Man, I'm so excited with it. Quality is fantastic. So, all right. Anyways, so just going into this. So yeah, thanks for asking, Kavai. It was a wonderful experience. I'm glad to be home though. I just have so much to catch up on. Hopefully I'll be able to publish the dehancer video this week. And then, yeah, there's just a few things behind the scenes that I'm still finishing, including my taxes, which is not fun. And now I want to test out this Luminar. So it looks like they have the dodge and burn concept here. Let's see how good it is. So if I am on the lighten side, it's actually not bad. Softness. Okay. Let's see if I increase the size. Okay, so it's got some decent tools. I'm used to using Lightroom for these things, so it's not like I'm not like sold on it per se with like being a part of my workflow, but it could be useful. We'll find out as we keep playing around with this. The main thing though is that it is fairly intuitive, so that's good. What is this array? Oh, for erasing later. Gotcha. Okay, so they got a dodge and burn concept. Cool. What else you got? They have this layers on the left. I'm trying to... Wait, where'd the tutorial go? Okay. Recover details from... Okay, so this is one of the tools I wanted to actually test. So you can remove the blur and get a naturally sharp photo. Let's try that. King says, Fed, if you've been practicing your art, you'd know your way in the dark. Best stream setup on Twitch, says Kavai. Yo, thank you very much. I do put some effort in it. I wouldn't say it's the best. There's still a lot that I'm trying to learn. Unfortunately, one of the things that could make the stream quality even better requires a PC or Windows, I guess, as opposed to my Mac, which is that, is it called Firebot or Streamerbot? And someone had suggested I should get a mini PC, and I don't know how true that is. If I can hook up a mini PC to my Mac Studio and have the mini PC run the OBS stream and the Mac Studio does the other stuff, I have no idea. But if I'm able to outsource the OBS onto my Windows PC, then I should have access to StreamerBot, which gives a lot more interesting features and ways you can use your Twitch channel points or just kind of like do some fun stuff. Oh, one thing I did purchase from Etsy, which I'll have set up on the next stream. Oh wait, actually, I might be able to set up now. I bought these little pets. It was like an artist who created it on Etsy, and it required me to reset my OBS, restart it, which I technically did. So I wonder if I can actually use it. Okay, sorry, I'm doing too many things at once. But thank you, Kavai, for the kind words. Fed says, need to be able to do the handheld camera katas, even blindfolded. Yo, katas. Is that a reference to that Christian Bale movie? What was the Christian Bale movie? Equilibrium? How many times have you been to Samurai? And has your experience been timeless? Asking a Fed. Hold on. Was it called Equilibrium? Movie? Yes. The gun kata. Gun kata. Or gun fu. I didn't know that was the other word for it. I just heard them say gun kata in the movie. Yo, shout out to Equilibrium. That was such a fun movie. Okay, anyways. So yeah, Kavai, there's a new feature. I haven't tested it fully yet, so we'll do it for tomorrow's stream. But I did. There's like these little stream pets. Apparently, you can spawn it during the stream, and you can like get a bunch of them. I don't know. It's just like a fun concept, and then they just kind of like hover around on my stream. So I got to figure out where to place them. They move around and stuff. I don't know if it's like Pokemon stuff or not, but I thought it'd be fun. So yeah, we'll add that in tomorrow's stream. Fed says, I've never been to Tromso. I've been to Tromso, I think. It is a beautiful place, especially Senya. I live down south, and Tromso has the furthest north university in the world. It's very far from where I live. Nice, nice. You Norwegians, man. Is it Norwegians? Yeah, yeah. I do want to go back. Okay, let's do this recover details from misfocus. So there's a section on the right called super sharp. So we got adjustments and masking. Let's look at the information bubble. Restore sharpness with AI by fixing motion blur, missed focus, and camera shake. All right, let's see how easy it is. We'll go to, let's try both. Universal. Oh, interesting. That's not bad. This feels a little bit sharp, too sharp for what I normally want. Let's see. We're gonna hit the low option. Yo, this is actually good. Hold on, hold on. I do like this result. Okay, maybe later. Let's try motion blur. Wait, how do I see the before and after? There it is. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I have to hold it. Okay, long press. So here's the before. I don't know if it's as visible to you guys. But then if I let it go. Now, keeping in mind that this is their selected, it's like their curated photo that they're using for this demo. So it could be that they've just basically, yeah, it could be somewhat manipulative that you won't always get these types of results. So we're going to test it with my own photos, obviously. But this is actually a pretty good tool. It's actually doing the motion, it's removing that blur quite nicely without looking at too many artifacts. I think Yuba's maybe been further north in Norway than I have. It's time to trek north. The north remembers. Yeah, I made it all the way to the wall. The furthest north I've been in... Norway. I think I went to... Wait, hold on. Maybe I lied. Where's Tromsø? I just remember seeing that. Oh, you know what? My bad. Fed, I have not been to Tromsø. I just made shit up. Wow. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a streamer, right? We just make shit up. Yeah, I apologize. I never went to Tromsø. That was one of the areas... The reason... It just sounded familiar because I wanted to go there. We just couldn't make it work in the time that I had because I didn't realize how long Norway is. So the furthest north I went, I think, was Trondheim. Was it Trondheim or did I go up from there? None of this sounds familiar to me, so I'm going to assume Trondheim is the furthest north. What's the name of the park that has the... Norway, what's the name of the park that has musk ox? Dovrefjell Sundalsfjell National Park. Yo. You guys just are the worst when it comes to your names. Dovrefjell. Oh, that's super south. Okay, yeah, so I think what happened is I flew into Bergen. King's asking, are you reviewing the Chimera C? No, I don't have access to those lenses. There was a contact that reached out to me from one of those lens guys, but it never panned out, unfortunately. Maybe in the future. It was like for like a Black Friday thing. Fed said, I would like to film on Svalbard. Yeah, I want to go there for the polar bears for sure. The place where it's mandated to have a rifle at hand by law because of the polar bears. You went to Trondheim? Yeah, so basically my trip started in Bergen. I rented a car. I think I took a ferry here. It seems familiar. I'm pretty sure I must have drove... I think I drove here, took the ferry across to this side. Then I just I continued my road trip all along here. I think I stopped the route here for photos. I must have cut inland at some point. And then I went to that one spot with the curvy bridge. So I think I went all the way to the western point, because wherever that bridge is, what do you call that? Norway curved bridge. Yeah, this guy. So then I went to the Storseisundet bridge. And then my final stop going up north was Trondheim. I met up with a buddy of mine. I think he flew into Trondheim. And then we drove inland, went to that national park where the musk ox is. And then eventually made it back to Bergen. It was really fun. I honestly, I wish I had spent more time there. I spent about 2 weeks there. I could have spent longer. Amazing, amazing. It's very expensive, so I might have to wait a bit, says Kavai. For what do you have to wait for? Use essential controls. Set the stage for all further adjustments and then emphasize. Oh yeah, let's check out this edge sharpening. Oh yeah, here, let me update my notes. So motion blur, okay, sorry. It's called super sharp for motion blur. Really clean results when using the low amount. Middle to high can over sharpen visual. Fed says, I like going abroad since it's so much cheaper in most countries. Traveling within Norway is very expensive for me as well. Listen, I'm very excited. Hopefully, I'm always an optimistic person, but I'm also someone that is not new to disappointment or just like things not working out the way you want it to. But I am at this point of being very optimistic. My goal for next year is absolutely to start doing travel live streams. So ideally, I would tie it up with wildlife. But listen, I want to do a trip out to Norway. It'd be super cool to meet you guys in person, all of you people in Norway, as well as like any other country I end up traveling to. Obviously, that's part of the fun of this. And then if we can do film projects together too, how crazy would that be? But yeah, we'll definitely try to. I'll try to come to you, Fed. I'll try to go to Norway. Kavai, we got to do some dog sledding. Even Norwegian polar bears want the smoke. I guess bear spray isn't enough. Yeah, man, those polar bears. I was just seeing one of those videos that was it a National Geographic guy who did the who stayed inside a cage, and the polar bear was like trying to break into it. Man. I think the polar bears are after kombucha. Nice. Okay, let's check out this edge lightening and darkening feature. It's called, oh, it's vignette. Or they labeled it as vignette. Darken or lighten photo edges to draw focus towards it. Okay, I was misled. I think they should have just called it vignette from the beginning. Because when I wrote here, I said things to explore, and there's this thing called emphasize your subject, darken or lighten the edges of your image. I thought they meant that they had some AI tool that actually detects the edges of all the subjects and objects, and then does some kind of fancy lightening or darkening. I didn't know it just meant vignetting, so let me just remove that. Okay, so vignetting, let's see how good it is. I mean, it's pretty standard, right? There's nothing. Let's see, they got an advanced setting. So for vignetting, usually I like to set it with zero feathering, just to kind of see what we're working with. And then I'll change the feathering later. Interesting, I've never heard of this inner light feature before. That's new. So then let's see if this looks good. Then we just kind of, usually I'll max out the feathering and then I'll reduce the amount. Okay, so generally speaking, I mean, it's a good vignette, but vignetting is like such a standard tool, I would say, or it's like, it's what's the word? There's a term that I'm thinking of where it's part of the default set that you should expect. The table stakes. It's like a table stake feature. So it's not something that's like a hero feature that you make your name off of, or the feature that people are, this is why I'm spending money on this product, right? So it's a table stakes one. But it works well, so that's good. And let's check out this final thing here. Use essential controls. Set the stage for all further adjustments. So they have a develop stage, which is similar to Lightroom maybe. Adjust exposure, white balance, saturation, sharpness, and perspective. Yeah, okay, so this is like working in develop in Lightroom. So like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use a tool like this for my typical color grading stuff. I'm perfectly happy with Lightroom. I'm looking at Luminar Neo for my plugin additional features, AI related stuff. Yeah, plugged into Lightroom, as opposed to I'm doing start to finish my photo editing within Luminar Neo. But it's good to know that it looks like it does everything. Like, you technically could use this instead of Lightroom. And I guess that would be one of the draws of this product. For my needs though, I'm looking at, like, I'm a Lightroom user and I need something that feeds into it. Fed says, oh, what's up, Markman? Markman is back, says welcome back. Thank you very much. It's good to be back. It's good to do a normal stream. I will be streaming every day from now until I think maybe the 13th. At that point, my mom is visiting me for the first time. I've been in Dubai a number of years now, and it's just very difficult for people to travel from, like, to visit me in Dubai if you're coming from the States. It's not easy. It's like 16 hours or so in terms of flights if you're going direct, and it's also super expensive. So I'm happy my mom is able to finally visit. So yeah, she'll be here for the rest of the year. I still haven't decided if I will be streaming during those weeks, just because I need to spend quality time, obviously, but I need to get shit done still. I need to do work. So I might still do like a co-working stream. I'm not sure if I'll do these talking streams while my mom's here. Just it might be too much to try to juggle. Jesus, I'm eating my own hair right now. But yeah, thank you. Thanks for being back, Mark. King says, can you see the northern lights from your crib? Never forge your rifle on Svalbard, even when just going out to get cigs and milk. I'll see you in Valhalla. Does that reference work for Norwegians? Or is that a Viking thing? Where were Vikings from? I don't know. Sometimes going up in the mountains, they're much more visible a couple of hours drive away from all the city lights. Yo, that would be such a fun live stream. If I can do a live stream visiting Norway and hopefully getting a Starlink or like getting the right cell connection, if we can do a live stream of the Northern Lights, that would be so cool. Only a few weeks left in the year to hit that milli in profits this year. Yeah, don't give up on your dreams. You still got time. Almost there. Yeah. Let's look at this smart contrast. Seems okay. Like I said, I'm usually okay. It's good to know though. They do have all the tools as you would expect from like if you're a Lightroom user. But like I said, generally speaking, okay, they do have a nice noise reduction, optics. Yeah, generally speaking, I tend to use my own. I use Lightroom for all this. Well, we're gonna test that with some of my photos as we go. Okay. That was the first tutorial on Super Sharp. Here's a before and after. Show me the edits. Oh, Kavai's on the YouTube side right now. Kavai, wait, were you always? Maybe I'm getting mixed up. I've been told stories of close calls with polar bears in Svalbard. Also, one of the taxidermied bears in the museum was shot by an acquaintance. Nice. Well, maybe not nice. I'm not sure. Why did your acquaintance have to shoot the polar bear? Polar bears are endangered, right? I'm assuming it's for self-defense. Okay, let's check out the sun rays tutorial. Yo, this is one of the features I was looking forward to. Let me write this down. It was the 3D lights placement. Kavai says, I switched sides to chat with Fed in the chat here. Nice, nice. Thanks for supporting me on both sides. Self-defense, he was inches away. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. That would be the way to go. Listen, if you guys find out in the news years from now, you can clip this moment or use it. If there ever comes a time where you find out that I was killed in action, well, KIA, as a wildlife photographer because a bear mauled me to death or something, just know, I mean, I'm assuming it'll be extremely painful, right? So I don't want this to happen. But just know that if it does happen, that one part of, like, that 1% of my brain that's not focused on how painful this is will be like, hells yeah, this is the way, this is the way to go, you know? No regrets. But yeah. Anyways, add a new light source. Control the position, warmth, and the amount of glow of sun rays. The positioning is the thing I'm interested in. Let's go ahead and try this. Alright, so the tool is called sun rays. Sun rays. Add realistic sun rays with adjustable position, warmth, and glow for subtle or dramatic lighting effects. Wait, this might not be the tool. This might not be the one I was looking forward to. I mean, this is one of the tools I'm interested in, but I thought there was one that was more of like a directional light. Let's see. It could be the same thing. Place sun center. Let's just put it somewhere very... I'm assuming we should place it where the sun is. So we'll put it right there. Oh, wow. Okay. Yo, this is actually... Okay. This is their sample shot, so keep that in mind with the caveat. This is pretty good, though. Let's go around this much. 59. Overall look. Okay, so this is the sun ray length. Okay, so we can minimize how much it stretches out. I kind of want to stretch all the way to the edge of at least the bottom left corner. Fed says bears eat you alive. Yeah, that's what I heard. I think it's bears and I think like wolves or like hyenas. Maybe it's like the canines. Hey Amber, can you hear me?
Absolutely, I've got you. I can hear you just fine, so just let me know what you need.
Which wildlife that I might encounter as a wildlife photographer, if I were to be killed by it, are the ones that would eat you alive or eat me alive? I believe bears will eat you alive. I think wolves, maybe hyenas. I'm not sure. But yeah, can you tell me which of these animals are the ones that eat you alive? And I even thought I read some of them might even eat you like ass first. I don't know. Maybe I'm making up that last part. So scratch that last part. But tell me, which ones will eat you alive?
Yeah, so that's definitely a vivid question. And you're not entirely off track. There are indeed some predators out there that, if things went really wrong, could potentially eat a person alive. Bears are a good example. They're opportunistic, and if they attack, they can start eating before their prey is actually fully dead. Hyenas are also known for being pretty brutal in that regard. They're scavengers and predators, and they will sometimes feed on living prey. Wolves, on the other hand, typically kill their prey first before eating, so that's a bit different. Basically, large carnivores that are more scavenger-oriented, like hyenas, or opportunistic omnivores like some bears, are the ones that might not wait around. But either way, it's definitely one of those extreme wildlife scenarios that, hopefully, you'll never have to worry about.
Bears eat you alive, hyenas and wild dogs. At least big cats will end you first. Yeah, my understanding is like all the cats, they usually suffocate you to death and then they go to town. Whereas I think like the wild dogs, man, they just ravage you to pieces like within seconds. So Yeah. Okay, anyways. I sent the clip in the Hangout chat. Oh, let's check this out. By the way, just quickly here, this tool is pretty awesome. This is actually pretty impressive. So obviously, if you have the sun, it's nice to place it there. I do like the more subtle sun rays that come through and the ability to impact how much of it. And it seems like this AI seems to recognize pretty well what areas in your shot are already fairly dark, so then it kind of minimizes the effect. And I think the best example, at least with the sample image, is like the edge of the mountain and the cliff here, where it seems to recognize the edge and place the light as if it's in a somewhat like realistic manner. So you can see it here with the light coming through the edge on the right. That's pretty badass. Yeah, so you can even mimic the sunlight coming in from this side, reducing, I don't know, do whatever you want. But obviously we have the sun there, so that's where I placed it. So far, this is really cool. I do like this quite a bit. And there's even more settings, so we have a lot more to kind of click through. Let me check out my Discord. Kavai sent the clip of your prediction. Uh-oh. You sent it in the Hangout chat. Oh, the clip. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we can always... Listen, when that moment happens, you guys will come back to this Discord. You'll find that. You'll play it at my funeral, right? So, if Yobel ever dies from a wild animal, we have his foretelling clipped here. Yes, thank you. And feel free to join my Discord if you're new. In the link in the chat. What a way to go. Listen, realistically, the way I want to go is plane crash, because ideally it should be fairly instantaneous, but I want it to be plane crash pre-trip, not post-trip. I would rather die before I had the amazing trip. The reason is because I've had these thoughts before, like during turbulence on flights back, returning from like an amazing trip. There's no bigger regret or feeling of like semi-depressed in those moments than thinking that you captured some of the coolest footage. You got the amazing gorilla, took your camera and took a selfie with you, and no one will believe you until you post it kind of shots. And to think that no one's ever going to see it because the camera's most likely going to get destroyed in the crash, right? Everything's going to be wiped. To me, that feeling of the amazing captures will never see the light of day, I think will just make me even more depressed in those last few moments. So I'd rather have it happen prior to the trip, because then it's like, you know, empty canvas. All right, let's keep testing this out though. So the sun radius, glow radius. So let's say if we have a bit of a sun radius, what is the glow radius? I kind of like this glow because I like these faded looks. So I prefer when you have a bit more haze if you're trying to mimic some of the sunlight. I don't want the sun rays to be so contrasted, or like, you know, it shouldn't look too much like this as opposed to a bit more like, yeah, somewhat flattered. Kavai says, ha ha ha. Yes. Now we get the ray settings. Wow, you can even adjust the number of sun rays. Yo, this tool is badass. This is what I want. This is a super impressive tool. Randomize. Oh, there we go. Warmth. The one thing I was going to say is that I wish they could change the warmth of the temperature of the sunlight so it could be a bit warmer. So I'm glad they are ahead of me on this. So let's see, we can make it warm. Although it seems like the warmth doesn't stretch to the light as much. Oh, this is the sun warmth. My bad. I'm jumping the gun a bit. So sun rays warmth. There we go. Now this is way too yellow. I wish it was a bit more on the warmer side. But obviously we're not going to use the extreme level. So something like this maybe? Although I do like the cool tone as well, because it makes it look more like fog. But we want sun rays, or we want sunlight, so something like this. 45. Let's see what Nikon does on the 10th. You can do this for video too in Resolve. Oh, I didn't know. Wait, really? Huh. The thing is, I haven't gotten to that stage of filmmaking yet where I'm able to like, or I would need to like artificially create cool sets and stuff. I need to, yeah, let's see. Let's see what kind of film projects I can work on going forward. Because there's all these things I need to learn. Because I think the light leak concept makes a lot of sense to learn in DaVinci. Especially if I'm indoors or even outdoors and like mimicking sunlight coming through a window. Or especially if I have a smoke machine and stuff like that. I need to keep playing with those tools. King saying, let's see what Nikon does on the 10th. Are you all getting tired of waiting for Nikkor Cine lenses? And Fed says, yeah, glow in Resolve. It has a lot more options than here too. Okay, I need to check this on Resolve. Spielberg crushing it, says King. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have any inside scoop, inside knowledge. The only thing I can say, like, which is not like a shock or anything, it's just I know that the Nikon team is fully aware that people are expecting cinema lenses to go with this new new directional step, this big splash in the market. So I have no idea what this announcement or what they're doing on the 10th, but I also know that the Nikon team is not ignorant. They're not blind to the demands of people now, that they are expecting a cinema lens to pair with the new ZR. So yeah, we'll see. I have no idea. It could be the most mundane announcement, but yeah, I'd be happy. Okay, so these are all the features for this sunray concept. And then you can also do some masking, which is nice. AI mask. What is AI mask? So here's the before and after. One thing is a bit too dark here, but that was my choice than anything. So obviously you could have adjusted it and all that. I like this a lot. This is a cool feature. So let me put that under sunrays. Love this feature. AI does excellent job at identifying the spatial, I guess I'll call it spatial awareness and adjusting how light refracts. Is refract the right word? I don't know. Refracts or is blocked based on the objects in the shot. What else do I like about this? Keeps a natural look and feel, while also allowing more creative and unrealistic and artistic shots as well. Cool. Fed King says all the reviews were like, we have 4K 60 uncropped. Yo, if they could do 4K 120 uncropped, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The open gate feature, I guess, would be nice. And I'm not like, I know professionals say open gate is like super important. I didn't necessarily think of it that way because I haven't had enough film projects to really test it or see the need of it. I think one thing from a streaming perspective, I think having an open gate could be useful, such that I could multi-stream landscape and vertical at the same time, where if I had the full, dimensions to play with, the aspect ratio, it would be easier to get a vertical crop simultaneously. That's like such a niche thought process I had about the open gate, but yeah. Vertical video on the side in 4K. Man, we should do like a whole, we should have a betting, there should be a betting market for like, what is the announcement going to be about? Cinema lens would be fire. Some kind of firmware update could be also, it'd be somewhat anticlimactic, but I would like that. Okay, let's test out this sky tutorial. If you do anamorphic, you want to, oh yeah, you're right. You want a camera that can do open gate 3:2. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, because I think when I was briefly Googling and learning like what is anamorphic and what is open gate, I think that is one thing I read is like you need open gate to do the anamorphic lenses properly. But yeah. We need a ZR and a body with ND stops. One of the prior streams, we were watching a video about Sony FX3 versus something else. No, FX6 versus something else. And I think on the Sony FX6, they had a built-in ND filter concept. And I was like, yo, I would love that. Almost more than anything else. Like, I think I would prefer an auto ND feature built inside the camera over open gate is my current thought, because like the ability to just like go from indoors to outdoors, which happens a lot with like the type of filming that I do, or just the quick adjustments in light with an ND filter attached or whatever, just to know that your camera is able to automatically adjust for that in a natural, smooth way, as opposed to the obvious like, oh, you had to twist the lens or the filter, or you can see my freaking thumb in the shot because I didn't, you know, as I'm twisting it, I didn't properly do it. Yo, what's up, L? L is in the chat. Welcome home, Yubel. It's 6 p.m. and I just woke up. Thank you very much, L. 6 p.m. and you just woke up. Well, damn. Hopefully that means you had a raucous, is that the right term to use here? A raucous evening. Hopefully you had some fun. Hopefully memories were created and forgotten from imbibing. Is that another term I can use? FX6 has electronic NDs, not real filters. Yeah, so I guess my point is the video that we watched, I think it's from the guy Matti Hapoji. Regardless of if it's real filters or electronic, the end result looked really clean. Like, yeah, it works well, like you said, Fed. I was like, yo, this thing, it does the job. So, King says, I'm renting Master Anamorphics. I'm not that into it, but let's see what the fuzz is all about. L says, had a night shift from 0, so from midnight to 8 a.m. Damn. That's rough. But thanks for being here, L. A few things have changed. So one, obviously I'm back from Nigeria. It was a great trip. Met a lot of people. Was treated like a celebrity. The ZR is a hit with a lot of the creators there. And secondly, I have now new emotes, new badges, new alerts. So very excited that all of them is there. And thank you, Low Base, for gifting the 5 subs and resubbing as well. And I apologize yet again that the alerts did not work for you, but it's working now. King says, I feel like experiencing anamorphic should be done with not the cheap options. Some built, I want to test out anamorphic for sure, but I want to test it properly. Kavai says some built-in ND filters are visible when changing ND, so be aware if you are planning to IRL live stream with them. I mean, I don't care about the quality for like a live stream. I'm saying like if I have a film project or if I'm capturing travel vlogs or like the typical stuff that I'm just trying to capture proper footage, just to not have to manually adjust when changing environments. Yeah. Oh, I am also committing a cardinal sin, I'm assuming, to proper filmmakers. For all of my travel vlogs, except for maybe this chimpanzee one, I think for other, typically I'm always shooting in auto ISO when I'm filming my travel captures. But I think I probably run into some issues by doing that. I need to double check what it was. It was a bit more clear to me at the time. But I tend to just shoot in auto ISO, and it served me pretty well, but I'm sure there's a few things that it's caused me some issues. Besides the whole concept of the, what is it, the dual native ISO, you know, dropping from there. I shoot a lot of 2.4 to 1 Why is it 2.4? So the one that I was using, they said it's 2.39 aspect ratio. So what's the difference between 2.4 and 2.39? I'm curious. You shoot 2.4 on the Blackmagic non-anamorphic. It's fine for me. I don't need the bokeh balls and out of focus areas that look stretched, but I sometimes rent. King's asking, Joe Bell was in Nigeria. Word. Yes, yes. But I was only there for literally like less than a day. So I spent the night there, just had a quick presentation, and then flew back. I wish the ZR had D-squeeze so we could use anamorphic. Oh yeah, Mark, thank you. That's the other word that I learned recently that I still don't really have in my lexicon. The concept of D-squeezing. If I shoot something and want it to look like an old John Carpenter movie, I can always rent some classic anamorphic lens for sure. C-series anamorphic. Is your work field in photo or video? Yes, Fid, let us know. And I concur, Kavai. Fed does know his stuff. Actually, to be honest, everyone in the chat knows your stuff way more than I do. So I'm clearly the one maximizing from the stream. I'm exploiting you guys for knowledge. The difference is impossible to spot. It's just some. Gotcha. All right, we're testing out this new product called Luminar. It's not new, but it's new to me. It's a product called Luminar Neo. It does a bunch of photo enhancements. I'm just going through all their tutorials first before I go into my own photos in Lightroom. Replace the sky. So they got the sky replacement feature. Let's go ahead and test it out. So for this photo, we can check. Let's see how intuitive it is. Wow. So one click of a button, and they are able to replace it. I see, and then you can shop. Interesting. Okay, so they have their own marketplace within this program. So you can purchase additional types of skies. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Well, listen, as someone that doesn't do a lot of landscape photography these days, I'm not as like, it's not as top of mind for me. There was a time that I cared a lot about like the sky quality and shoots and stuff like that. But generally these days I'm fine with whatever I get. And they have some built-in skies here, so... I mean, again, keep in mind, caveat, this is their sample image. But these actually look not bad at all. Like, obviously these are not realistic, but they seem to match, they blend in quite nicely. Also, let me switch over to my cat real quick, because she's doing a nice little adorable pose. Sometimes she sticks her paw out randomly. It's literally just protruding. You can kind of see it. Actually, you can see it on the main cam. You can see she just sticks her paw out like this. What a cutie. We need a travel food and dieting tips. Nothing like getting sick in a foreign place. Yo, I eat everything when I travel. I'm boring when I'm at home though. I haven't eaten all day. I've only had some veggie straw, like some chips, and iced coffee. Oh, I didn't read the full thing. Fed said the difference is impossible to spot. It's just some type of widescreen was 239:1 on film. Now it's on digital. It's usually 240. Oh, is that like similar to how like you can shoot in 24 frames per second, but then like technically the standard was like 23.967 or 697 or whatever. Panavision maybe. I don't know. There are many cool ones. We need a trout. Yeah. And I have a strong stomach, man. I've had goat brain, goat eyeballs. I've had horse meat, everything. Yaks. I didn't yak up the yak. You just went up another notch in my book. Nice. Kavai says, true, but excludes seed oils and bad grain vegetables. Yo, I'm about to simplify my diet even further. Sky replace AI slot. Yeah, L, I tend to agree with you, L, when it comes to like replacing Sky. It's just it's not my cup of tea in terms of like the type of AI that I usually rely on. Because obviously you're talking like a very drastic difference in what you shot versus what you're sharing. But, you know, to each their own. Like, some people might use it for other features. It's not like you're using it to you know, promote your photography. Maybe it's for like more artistic Photoshop related stuff that you're doing. So yeah, I don't begrudge anyone for replacing their sky. It's just generally not necessarily what I rely on as a tool. But I will say, as far as a sky replacement tool goes, and for the sample image, they do a pretty damn good job of blending it in. Even these ones where I'm like, yo, there's no shot they're gonna be able to blend this in. It's like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Boost with one slider. Yeah, so decent tools. It's just not one that I generally will apply myself, but it is pretty impressive. Kavai says, needs to maximize protein every meal. I think it's okay if you took the replacement photo yourself. Yeah, I really like doing composites. Back when I was doing a bit of landscape, I enjoyed the skill that it requires, the time and dedication to capture multiple images from the same location, from the foreground, midground, sky, whatever, and then spending the time to have to mask the key parts together. There's an art to it, there's a skill to it, and there's a you to it, right? That was like, you shot everything, you're applying all together. So generally speaking, I agree with you there. I try my best to avoid things that are too artificial. I think the thing that I mentioned before of like what I think is acceptable for my personal use are things like light leaking, or like, you know, directional light. I tend to enjoy those things, or amplifying light coming from a certain direction. Now the sun rays, that's probably the max that I would use for my own stuff, where you're like mimicking actual sun, like scattered sun rays coming through. But generally speaking, that's like an area that I'm more likely to use. Did Kavai go to the YouTube side? Yes, Kavai hopped over to chat with the YouTube people. Kavai has switched sides for now. But yeah, more power to you guys. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, in terms of diet, just very, very random. I watched a video about replacing all grain from your diet and just going off of like proteins, vegetables, fruits, you know, things like that. And I'm a very simple man when it comes to the day-to-day. I've literally been eating rice with ground beef and broccoli as my main meal. But I figure I might as well test this out, because now I'm back to the gym. We're like back to trying to be healthy consistently and all that. So I figure, what's the harm? The next diet thing I'm going to try out is cauliflower rice, chicken or ground beef, keeping it the same. And then probably, yeah, broccoli. And then I have my kimchi. But I'm going to use my Instant Pot / rice cooker between the two. And I'm going to just use that to make a bulk thing. And yeah, let's see what it's like. Because I love carbs. I love rice. I love oatmeal. I love all those things that maybe is not the best for losing fat per se, but is good for gaining energy. So, but let's go ahead and try it. I've never had cauliflower rice consistently, so I might end up hating myself by the end of it, but we'll see. But we will maximize the protein. Okay, so that's a sky tutorial, presets tutorial. I'm just gonna skip around real quick. I want to see noiseless tutorial and bokeh. Interesting. Let's check out this bokeh effect. The bokeh could be nice, although Lightroom has its own feature for bokeh stuff, so I'm curious how it compares. So let's put here bokeh. Need to see how it compares with Lightroom. Create a dreamy bokeh effect. Make the person stand out. Okay. So the feature is called Portrait Bokeh. Fed says 24 was film and with TV and NTSC TV format. Some more stuff too long to explain. Became 23976. Is that what I said? No, I think I said 23967 maybe. 6.7. Later, they also added the possibility to shoot true 24 frames. What shower filter do you bring on your travels? Sorry, I don't know why that was so funny, but because I'm thinking ND filters, but now shower filter. If you're asking me that question, Kavai, I do not. I do not have any filters. You know, thankfully my hair's doing okay, because Dubai is notoriously... Dubai has a... some people say Dubai's water is not the best. Like, some people say you lose hair because of some harsh chemicals in the water when you shower. So a lot of people use filters. They buy filters for their shower stalls and stuff. I haven't used a filter in my new apartment here, and I've been here over a year. I don't know how much of an impact it's made, but yeah, so far the hair's still there. Hard water. Yeah, thank you. That's what they say. I don't know what does hard water mean, you know? It's a weird term. And Kavai is using a 6.7 emote. I didn't know that existed. Damn. That 6.7 thing, that's one of the most absurd... Okay, anyways. Portrait bokeh, blur backgrounds, emphasize the subject. Yes, yes. Let's test this out. Oh man, it's a bit impressive, but it's impressive. However, let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Usually, I guess I would want... The problem is the plants on the right look way too in focus. Like, I usually want everything to be blurred. But the background here, at the very least, does look very clean. What is this brush for? Oh, okay, okay, hold on. If I choose defocus... How does this work? No. I think that's not what I want, right? Okay, so listen, this is not a bad tool. I haven't really played with doing the bokeh effects in Lightroom even. Generally though, what I do is I just do a subject, auto subject, and auto background, and then I reduce the texture and a bit of the clarity in the background, and slightly texturize the subject, and it does enough separation that you get a nice blurred background. But I do like these little bokeh effects here. But yeah, the main question for me, so the tool is pretty impressive. The question's more around how does it compare to Lightroom's bokeh thing. But yeah, it's a nice feature. I don't know if I'll use it for what I'm thinking I'll need it for. 23.976 sometimes just shortened to 23.98. King's asking, how much heat do you apply to straighten your hair? Yo, this is the best part about being Asian, man. You just have natural straight hair. This is just how it comes, man. Here, I'll give you guys the full look. It can mean a lot of chalk or other natural rocks in the ground get resolved in the water. For Dubai, calcium and magnesium. Yeah, I mean, listen, my hair's survived so far. Maybe if I am losing hair, it's more just because now that I've let it grow a little too long, and when I bun it up and stuff, it's probably pulling on the edges. But I don't know if the water has adversely affected me too much. So it could just be one of those things that people... It's like a old wives' tale, like those kind of, you know, urban myth type things that's not really true anymore. Maybe it was true in the past. Therefore, it ended up being that weird number. It's math-based, says Fed. It's math-based on a lot of stuff that was done to play 24 frames per second films, such as in 30 hertz NTC TVs. So it ended up being that weird number. They needed to get rid of a frame each second to fit 30 hertz. Ah, interesting. That is actually interesting. Thankfully, well, actually no. Even the cameras now, they're always shooting in 24. Look at her. Sometimes she reaches out. She might do it now. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's always adorable when she sticks out And then she takes her paw out and then like paws my arm or my back. Nah, she's like, never mind. Good girl, Nala. Yeah. Nala. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. Okay. Or maybe it was each 4 seconds. Listen, no one's quizzing you on this, Fed. You could be bullshitting all of that to me right now, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, nice, interesting. I can't challenge you on this factually. L says it's basically equivalent of my city. We have old calcium mines. Oh, okay. Okay, so this was the bokeh effects. Listen, it sounds good. Let's look at this dramatic tutorial. Replace the sky, we're aware about that. Add powerful cinematic effects. Amplify contrast to create a captivating visual narrative. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so they have a feature called Dramatic. Create a cinematic high contrast look with muted. Yo, thank you. Care package Asian boy. What is this for? Well, thank you very much. I am an I would like to say Asian man, but I get what you're saying. And thank you for using your bits on that. Nice. Oh wait, was that that wasn't bits, right? Or what was that? Is that the Twitch channel points? You didn't hear it? I heard it on my end. Huh. Did it not play? I heard it on my side. Where did that play from? That was yeah, the Twitch thing. Give me a second. I'm just gonna add it to my OBS as a control audio via OBS. Yo, Daytor's in the chat. Good evening, Yobel. Guten Abend, Daytor. Thank you for being here. I'm just quickly trying to do some technical updates. So I've added the browser alerts. Okay. Yeah, L, I'm not sure why you weren't able to hear it. I heard it on my end, so it must be something's blocked. Something? I don't know what. Yes, Daytor, hopefully you're doing well. Elle says, I need to head out now, so I'll see you all another time, maybe later. No worries. Thank you very much for popping in. Thanks for making your presence known. I appreciate it. Kavai says, it's definitely true. A lot of things affect hair and scalp quality, including water quality and toxic shampoo. I could say I'm knowledgeable in this. I'm a co-worker of the best hair community on the internet. Yo, what does that mean? I do try to use good hair shampoo and stuff. What's the brand that I'm using right now? I do my best to get good stuff. I just can't control the filter itself. I would need to spend money to replace the shower head, but it's not like a normal shower head. It's just like so much work. I was like, oh, whatever. But yeah. Also, I saw in the news that there's some studies where there's some new trial medication that's supposed to increase your hair growth immensely. So it seems promising for my bald friends out there that someday soon there's this cure. I need to head out now. Oh yeah, sorry. Self-maxer on school if you're interested. I have no idea. I've never heard those words before. Daytor, hopefully you're having a wonderful day or evening. Yeah, we need an evening tour to go with Daytor. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so yeah, thanks for being here because this is my return stream after coming back from Nigeria. And now I'm just doing a bit of like fun stuff here, just editing this new product that I want to keep testing out. And what else should I say? Oh yeah, we have new emotes, we have new badges, and new alerts. So yeah, very, very happy. And we're going to keep adding more stuff over time. Okay, so this dramatic effect, I do like it. It seems like it's a mix of contrast, maybe like some level of like dehaze effect. So let me say dramatic. Seems like a decent dehaze / contrast / clarity tool. Dator says, I came from work and a little bit of shopping. Oh yeah, I need to do some shopping as well. No, I don't need to. I want to. I shouldn't. But yeah. Yeah, Merry almost Christmas, guys. Or Happy Holidays, whatever you guys celebrate. Okay, so this is the dramatic tool. Oh wait, there's a few more steps, right? Create expressive palettes. Control the intensity of colors in a photo. Okay, so in the color tool, let's see how good it is. Okay, same thing though. I guess it's like really the question is how does it compare to Lightroom? Okay, generally speaking, I would say I have the same comments, which is like, here, let me put it in. Let's make a category called General Thoughts. It seems like this is an all-in-one photo editing tool, such that it could replace Lightroom for certain editors. I personally am super comfortable with Lightroom, so I doubt I would use Luminar Neo as a replacement. But it's good to know that the program is that powerful. I'm looking at this for certain features as a plugin, as a Lightroom plugin. I don't know how to grammatically say that. As a Lightroom plugin. Cool. Kavai says, same, I don't need to only like 1 to 2 things, but now my shopping cart is $50 and filled with tens of products that I want. Yeah, yeah. Once you start shopping, man, that it quickly balloons into, you know, oh, you might as well buy 2 more. It's a buy 2, get 1 free? What? Okay, don't mind if I do. All right, let's test out this presets tutorial. Choose setting and share with the world. Apply a preset. Okay, let's check out this preset concept. Now, the interesting thing from a commercial standpoint I could look into is, let's say if I make a review video about Luminar, if I have my own presets, that would be a nice little bonus as part of my video if you get access to the presets, or if I sell the presets eventually. But it might be too much for me to manage my Lightroom presets and Luminar presets. So it could just be like I make a few one-time presets that just come for free as part of my review video or something like that. Okay, point is, yes, they got presets. Okay, let's check out this noise reduction. Noise reduction is absolutely a tool that I love. In the past, I used to use Topaz, quite a bit for the denoise feature. However, I would say Lightroom's denoising has gotten really good to the point where, generally speaking, I ended up realizing, I haven't relied on third-party tools as often. I've just relied on Lightroom's. The big issue with Lightroom's denoise, though, is that the files, when you generate it basically generates a new image that's denoised, and that image ends up being, I think, like twice the file size as what you originally shot. So it can quickly balloon in terms of your file storage and all that. That was one of the issues, but otherwise, the quality is good. Things to explore. We're about to explore, but let's look at noise reduction. It says, my beard gets stiff and dry when in Spain because they have hard water with a lot of minerals. Okay. Okay. Bad, your PFP looks like Vanguard IRL, but is it based on yourself since you got beard then? You need to put a noise reduction filter on Spanish water. Problem solved. Okay, let's get rid of the noise. Let's test it out. Remove noise. So the tool is called noiseless. Noiseless. Noise reduction. Reduced noise with AI for cleaner, sharper photos. Works best on RAW, but supports all formats. Cool. The advice is use the low adjustment for this image. Alright, don't mind if I do. Alright, let's check out a before and after. Man, that's real subtle. I can barely tell, to be honest. I might have to zoom in more. Alright, let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now it's a bit more obvious. So this is the before. I don't know if it'll show up for you guys on the screen, but this is before, this is after. So subtle is good, by the way. I feel like some of these noise reduction tools, it's way too much. Like the intensity is so much that it makes your image look very fake, and it has that weird, I don't know what you would call it, like a plasticky feel or something about it that looks off. Let's increase it to the middle option. And what does high look like? Okay, to be honest, all of them seem pretty decent to me. And like with most things, I guess the question is really, how does it compare to Lightroom? Okay, so now that I'm zooming in on this guy, there's a bit of it's not like perfect. So for example, here you're seeing that little, like, what would you call this, like a halo effect, or there's like a bit of an edge to the subject here that is not getting the same noise reduction treatment, so it's kind of like pixelating the edges. So this is the before, this is the after. So yeah, it's creating a little bit of a border around the subject. I wonder if I can adjust for it. Okay, so I can adjust by reducing the sharpness, but that's not necessarily what I want to do. Okay, so it's not bad, but like I said, I need to compare it to... I'll need to use my own images so I can kind of do a comparison with Lightroom. So let's say, does a fine job, however, need to compare with Lightroom's native denoise. Maybe Topaz? Question mark. Add some artifacts around the subject. That's visible. Fed says you need to put a noise reduction. We have such a filter on the sink to get rid of it so the water's more palatable. There's a bit of chlorine taste to it. It's not dangerous. Adding avocado to your diet will help promote natural hair oil to give that luster. I wouldn't mind eating avocado every day, but it's just like so much work. To me, I'm lazy. Stay away from water of foreign land. Yeah. Okay, what is this tool? Generace tutorial. I've never heard that word in my life. Generase. Control the intensity of colors in a photo. Okay, so it's the same color feature area. Erase unwanted elements, replacing them with generated visuals. Okay, so this is like some AI thing. Oh, okay. Let's see how good the tool is. So it's like object removal, I guess. How do I use this? All right, they didn't really explain how to use it. So right now I'm just scrubbing away the people. Now, is there like an OK button or what do I hit? Wait, there might be a glitch in the program. Because there's no... Oh, sorry. Oh, it's blocked. Okay, so now I hit erase. Let's see how it works. Used to not have drinking water in the 80s in Spain. It's fine now. Vikings will only protect you so far for Odin's sake. India, for example, now that's another matter. Yo, that was actually pretty good. Like I said, okay, so basically a lot of my feedback is just going to be I need to compare it to Lightroom. But as far as like tools that I like to use, object removal is one of them. Works well so far, but need to compare with Lightroom/Photoshop. That's pretty damn good. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, it's not my fault. The term was Generase, Generase, but I guess it means generative erase. They just didn't capitalize the E. That's why I was confused. That's not on me, okay? Gen erase. So that's the tool. So if I click on this little guy over here, what do I have to do? Hit deselect. Okay, so one quick little suggestion for Gen erase, if they could mimic Lightroom where to deselect you use shortcut, I think the Alt button, Alt, to turn the brush into the inverse. Okay, let's see if it removes that object. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, I'm fairly impressed. But like, yeah, but again, I think object removal is also table stakes. Lightroom has it, Photoshop, and those are the two main tools that I ever use for photo stuff. So Gen swap. What is gen swap? Hold on. King says my travel to India will be vicariously through Yobel. I do plan to go back. I do want to continue going back. It's fairly close from Dubai. There's so much to explore in India, which is part of the reason it's it's like somewhat overwhelming to plan a trip there, because it's like there's too many places, so it's hard to kind of plan properly. But there's a few go-to places that I wouldn't mind organizing a trip to go back to do, like wildlife safaris, looking for the black leopard. Fed says, I almost forgot to put the ZR on charging for filming tomorrow. How do you charge the Nikon batteries, or anyone else? Right now, I just have it hooked up to the PC. Seems to work optimally. So, for instance, for my stream camera, it's just using a USB-C plugged into a power source, like just the whatever outlet. It's like, I think one of those 100-watt USB-Cs, and that works really well. Otherwise, I need to invest in some dummy batteries. And then, yeah, I just have one of those portable charging where you can put 2 batteries at once to charge it. Man, this tool is actually... I feel like I'm scratching the surface as to what Luminar does. There's like an entire marketplace, education, LUTs, presets, overlays, bundles, which is nice. I'm glad to see that this is not like just some minimalist tool. But yeah, so anyways, I'm kind of impressed by this. How do I go back? Oh no. I want to go back to the... Oh no, I'm stuck. I wanted to keep staying on the tutorial. But you know what, to be fair, I think I finished all the tutorials except for maybe one of them. So really, we can start testing with like my own photos. Let's just do a very, very quick test. Ikidis is in the chat. Ikidis says, holy hair. Yes. I figured I might as well mimic your favorite subject, the horse. Hold on. Now this would rival any horse's hair. Horse's mane, sorry. Although, you know, horse have like, somehow they're like the most photogenic hair possible. But I do have Asian hair, so it is kind of built in soft and fine. King says it takes 2 hours to charge. Yeah, about the same it takes to decharge it's in use. Yeah, there might be some better charging battery stuff I need to look into. Similar via USB-C on the PC. Gotcha. You are a Tresemme advert. Oh, it took me a second. Tresemme, is that is that shampoo, conditioner? Hold on. Tresemme. Yo, can I get sponsored by a shampoo company or conditioner company? That thought never crossed my mind, but that would be so hilarious if I can be sponsored by some kind of shampoo company. Hells yeah. We'll put that on my wish list. Ambitions as a live streamer. Get Tresemme, if I can ever pronounce the brand name. Ikidis, welcome to the chat. We have some new... There's been a few changes. One, I just came back from Nigeria, so there is a Nigeria ZR launch event that they cordially invited me to be a part of and do like a quick presentation. Amazing stuff. It was only a one-day trip. Since coming back, there's a few things. One is I've made changes to the emotes, the badges, and the alerts. So now we can have some cool looking things, badges showing up for those of you who are whatever subbed to me on YouTube and Twitch. I think I need to fix it on Kick. Oh, well, your emotes are just the best though. Yeah, Ikidis, I know. Is that a thing you always do, like where you take shots every time someone subs to you? Because that's deadly. That's very deadly. But good on you. You have a stomach of steel with all the shots that you take. I have a stomach of steel from all the kimchi I eat. We are not the same. Is that the meme? Or we have our own approach. I use a few Paul Mitchell hair products. I change shampoo and conditioners every 3 months. What do you mean you change shampoo and conditioner every 3 months? Are you saying you test out different brands every 3 months? And is that like so your hair doesn't get used to any one brand or something? Is there some science behind that? Don't tell Twitch. Oh, is that like a rule against Twitch or something? Jesus, why are they so strict about things? I kid, it's the other things just to catch you up. Oh yeah. Actually, let's go ahead and do a few tests. I want to show you guys what the alerts look like. Low Base was very kind earlier and gifted some subs and resubbed, but unfortunately, I didn't have the I didn't have the alert set up for those particular actions. So let me see if I can test it now. Your chosen genes are strong. At least my hair, I guess. Let's go to follow. So here, okay, here's what's gonna happen. Here are the new emotes. Oh, what's up, Maple? Maple says, they're fine about it. You just can't be like belligerent or dangerous. What if you're belligerent and dangerous? You know? Same thing with smoking weed. Oh, okay. Well, listen, I live in Dubai, so I would never even utter those words out loud, although I just did. Dubai's fairly strict about random things, and I think weed is maybe one of those. But also, they change rules fairly quick. They're modernizing quite quickly. So there's a lot of rules by paper, but then no one actually follows the rules in practice. So Dubai's actually fairly liberal these days, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, that's correct. It's just science. Don't let your scalp get used to things. Okay. You know what? There's some... That sounds very reasonable, so I should keep that in mind. Okay, let me go ahead and show you guys. These are the new emotes. Maybe I'll pop over to... Maybe I'll pop over to... Not me. My cats. So we'll do each test with one of my cat area. So if someone follows me on Twitch, for example, or YouTube. There it is. Kimbap popping in with the little follow. Look at it. Look at that cute little kitty popping in. So that's like the new one. I need to change the sound effects though, but that's there. And the next one we changed was, let's say if someone becomes a member, like a Twitch, what do you call it for if you subscribe on Twitch or you become a member on YouTube, and you get a version like this. You get both of my cats showing up, and it's Nala wearing some cool shades taking a selfie. Wow, as if to mimic you've become part of the crew, so it's, you know, taking a selfie together. Wow, amazing. Fed says, I just used some random shower gels. I'm bald. My beard seems to be fine with it. Nice. What's the next one we got? If someone does a bits, if they donate with bits. And oh yeah, let's switch cameras for this one. Where's Nala? Okay, Nala's gone, but let's just test it with this one anyways. So if they donate with bits. There she is. Another cutie. Thank you. And then what are the other ones? Super chat? You get Kimbap catching coins in his freaking in a lens. You know, there's a funny side story behind that one though, because when I was talking to the artist, I was like, yo, maybe we can do something where if someone donates money, it could be like, you know, you want to convey that the money that someone's donating is allowing me to upgrade, you know, and purchase new gear and just continue down this path, right? So I was like, oh, what if we have a lens, but every time you see a coin drop inside and Kimbap is catching the lens, or is catching the coin, you would see the lens upgrade, like it becomes like a longer lens, like it becomes like a telephoto lens, if you will. Unfortunately, just because of the idea itself, not through any fault of the artist, it ended up looking not necessarily PG, because then it looked like Kimbap is holding this lens, circular cylindrical shape in his hands, and as the coins are falling, you are seeing the cylindrical lens lengthening in size. It was just the positioning of it. Here, let me play it one more time so you guys can quickly see. But imagine the lens gets larger and larger. No, not that one. My bad. All right, this one. So yeah, ended up looking a little bit not PG. So we kept the lens the same size, is what I'm trying to say. And then the final one is for raids. If someone gives a raid, then you get both my cats together on a safari in the bushes. How cool is that, right? So I mean, those are the new ones. And then, like I said, we got some new emotes in the chat, as well as some badges. So yeah, I was very, very, very pleased with the results. My wife is the one who has like 4 shampoos and conditioners for different hair days and all sorts of body soap products for peeling and so on. I just get a cheap, huge bottle of some sort of sports gel. Yeah, I guess that's a meme with like being guys, we don't care as much. Although I think I do put some thought into like for instance, I never use those 2-in-1, 3-in-1 shower shampoo products, whatever. I think I do. I spend the money if it's something you're using every day on your body. I just feel like why not use better products or better quality if they do exist? It's the same way I think of I think it's always a good investment to spend money on a really good mattress, because this is literally the thing you're spending the most time on in your life, right? Like as far as like products that you own, you're spending so much of your time sleeping. And so if you can maximize by having the best quality that can allow for the best sleep, that can only mean good things, I guess, in terms of like your health, I would assume. So yeah, mattresses are important. Although I'm kind of breaking from my own philosophy, if you will, because I have the same IKEA chair for so long, and I feel like if what I'm saying is true, I spend a lot of time in this chair, so I probably should spend money on a really ergonomic chair as well. I probably should do that, actually. God, but that's more money to be spent. The gels say 2-in-1, must be true. 3-in-1. Soap is not expensive. Are you sitting on a Herman Miller chair? If not, why do you hate your back? Yes, thank you, King. I don't know if you said that after what I just said, or if I missed your chat, but yes, you're calling me out on my hypocrisy. Now, what I do, I have an IKEA chair, but I do have one of these, what do you call it? It's like one of those massage backs. I got it on Amazon. It was like fairly cheap, and you can plug it in and everything, so it massages you. I haven't used it for the actual massage feature. I think I lost the adapter for it anyways, but this does help a bit. So I might be fooling myself, but it feels somewhat ergonomic, you know? What do I know? Mattress is different. Get a great one. Yeah, exactly. Man, Herman Miller's, that's expensive, okay? I remember for my previous company, I was basically leading the project of like renovating an entire innovation studio. And I remember there's a whole discussion about which chairs are all the employees going to be getting in this new building and stuff. And there's a whole argument, and someone was super opinionated that we absolutely must have Herman Miller chairs. No, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was like, okay. Okay, so we have a number of these photos that I want to start testing out with Luminar. However, it is now 2 minutes till 10 p.m. So I think this is actually where I'm going to call it a day, because I do need to, I have to end things. I have to eat my first meal of the day. I need to get ready to sleep early. I'm going to the gym tomorrow, so we gotta maintain a good schedule. So yeah, I think we'll call it a night. However, I do want to, I have to be better about doing raids and stuff. And let me just peruse through if there's anyone live right now. Fed says those old school soap bars are perfect for cleaning yourself, but I feel gel is just more practical in the shower. Yeah. Well, as someone who gets a lot of tattoos, I know after my tattoos, I had to always use the ones that don't have all the extra stuff in it. Because it can cause bad reactions to your tattoos, you know, like the ink and stuff. So, yo, BC is live. Let's go. Let's support BC. BC, who has, I think, the most points in the chat, and who's super loyal, super awesome, big part of the stream. So if you guys don't mind, those of you on the Twitch side, I want to start a raid and let's go over and support Brandon, Mr. BC. Yeah. So we're gonna start that out. Tattoos are expensive, yes. Oh, well, my buddy who's here, I mentioned before, he's just chilling right now, but I think he's staying a bit longer in Dubai, so there's a chance maybe we'll be able to get I might be able to get some ink work done. TBD. Yeah, because it's been a while. What is Twitch, says King Kruk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a new ink work. I just don't know where. But, yeah. You know, one of these streams I might bring him over in case he's interested. Super cool guy, really big. Let me show the Instagram again. Instagram symbol.supply. Is Twitch related to X Talk? Nice, good one. Okay, thank you guys though. As we're kind of closing this out, those of you on Twitch, I do hope you'll stay to support our boy BC. Fellow photographer doing the aviation stuff, super badass. And then yeah, I will be streaming again tomorrow and the days after, most likely. But yeah, thank you guys. We're gonna go ahead and click on this raid now button, and then on the YouTube side, I think I need to manually, I forget, there's all this weird stuff, right, where I'm gonna try to end the stream on